1, 2, 3. Inside of me, bright eyes, hypnotized, never telling lies, socialite, half-life, check yourself, do it right, you will be fine. 4, 5, 6, no stones or sticks, my broken bones, somehow they all got fixed. You're so in demand, you're my vitamins, pretending highs. Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3, please make them disappear. And whatever happens, promise me you won't leave me here. I left them behind. 7, 8, 9, no, not alright. TV catch me crushes, waste time, out of sight and out of mind. Just need another rhyme, I'm too numb to cry. 8, 9, 10, it's happening again. I'm moving out and moving on, I'll throw away and hold it in. You're lonely, never ever only, nothing feels right. Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3, please make them disappear. And whatever happens, promise me you won't leave me here. Leave me here. Spell again, how come you're emotionless? I just am. Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3, please make them disappear. And whatever happens, promise me you won't leave me here. Abracadabra, 1, 2, 3, please make them disappear. And whatever happens, promise me you won't leave me here. Leave it behind. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? dude, how we doing? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Need you so I hope. Do you need anything like I need you? Yo. Let's go, Tuesday. How we living? So tomorrow we are starting a 9 p.m. Pacific time. We're going on a schedule. Long overdue. So prepare to get in earlier. Isn't it Wednesday? No, it is not Wednesday. It's Tuesday. Getting a 2 for tonight. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna try to be a little more scheduled with the time. I want to increase the number of videos. That means I gotta have a schedule. So we're gonna be strict about it. It'll be subject to change, like when I go on vacation or something like that. Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure. Together, everyone's waiting, anticipating. I'm gonna do one quick chorus, and then we're gonna get into it. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Hey. Let's go. All right. Dude, fucking Tuesday. Dude, was there a primary today? Let's see, dude. We have some big primaries coming in the next couple weeks. Dude, the drums. Yeah, no, that song has some amazing drums. You'll be able to get that song on my website during the summer. It's coming. It's coming. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's see what we got here. Oh, my God, dude. Dude, this is crazy. Dude, is that true? Is that true that... So again, I'm going to make a blanket announcement. Everyone's here. Starting tomorrow, we are streaming at 9 p.m. sharp Pacific time. That is midnight on the East Coast. And it's probably going to be like 2 hours, right? 2 to 3 hours. I don't know when I'll end. The end time will be flexible. We may go late, you know, when we have those crazy long draining conversations, but we are starting earlier. We're starting at 9 p.m. And so it's going to be like, you know, scheduled, okay? Like, I just want to have a regular time. Like, when I don't have a regular time, dude, I'm all over the map. Starting early, I'm starting late. I end up pushing late because I'm a night person. The stream just keeps getting later and later. So we're forcing the 9 p.m., okay? That
is number one. Okay, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the Seinfeld slot. Okay, it's going to be good. So that starts tomorrow. Now, Suit Sundays are coming. That it might be a couple of weeks still out. The Political Punk website is coming. That's going to have, you know, not new merch options, but I do have some old merch that's pretty cool. And there's going to be some musical options. It's going to tide us over in the meantime. So that's coming probably end of summer. Okay, it's going to be a little reward, maybe a little sooner. I don't know. I'm going to New York in August, so it'll be somewhere around there. Now, the other thing I do want to say is that, you know, thank you guys for being here, for like sharing in this crazy journey. Okay, it's I don't know. I feel like it's going to get batshit. It is. Dude, I was just reading something that I don't know is accurate. Is Elon Musk, like, does France want to arrest Elon Musk for election rigging? I just read something about that, and I don't know how accurate that is. But, I mean, I know that they were looking into his shit, dude. And, like, we know he rigged here, okay? So we know that, right? And so they're seeking criminal charges for CSAM images, deepfakes, disinformation, and complicity in denying crimes against humanity. But see, now I saw something about election rigging, right? And maybe that wasn't true, okay? Right? That may not have been true. But, dude, fuck Elon. Man, guys, I'm going to be honest, okay? I mean, I'm always honest, but that's just a phrasing. But I'm going to be direct here and say that I want to see somebody hold Elon Musk criminally liable. Okay? Oh, yes, babe. I got you. Let me do that right now. Don't do the RFK bit, though, because I did put some of the RFK in this video, babe. And so you may grab, where is it? You may, I don't know where, are you sure I didn't put it in there, babe? Because I don't see it. Oh, the picture. Oh, the Handmaid's picture. Got it. Okay. I thought you meant the video. I was going to say I don't see the video. The Handmaid picture, I got you. All right, there it is. All right. Yeah, it's in there. Okay, sorry. Let me... There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, what I was going to say, guys, is replace all your late night content from Maddow to Colbert to fucking Political Punk. Let's go. All right. Dude, that's amazing. What was I just talking about? Oh, yeah. Elon. So, guys, I really want to see somebody hold him criminally liable. Okay? Because dude, Elfinator, what up? He has been so like dirty, guys. He's dirty in the elections. He is dirty with his like dark money. He is dirty with the CSAM. He is dirty with the way he manipulates the algorithm and suppresses people. I mean, guys, dude, I routinely get called like the N-word, racial slurs, all kinds of slurs. I report that shit. Death threats, none of my shit is ever actionable, okay? I called 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 a biatch, and I got, look at what I got. I got a hateful conduct thing for calling 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 a stupid biatch. Now, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, you know, there's nothing here. I mean, if you call a woman this on Twitter, they will limit your stuff because they consider that to be a, you know, they can consider that to be an attack on her immutable characteristics of being a woman. But dude, he's doing this shit for 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, bro. What the fuck, dude? You know what I'm saying? And it's just because it was getting a lot of play, right? That comment was very popular. Oh, so yeah, man, I would love to see Elon Musk held criminally liable. Now, guys, Donald Trump is rolling out some new money. Frankly, I think this stuff is a little weird, but you know, I know Trump is going hog wild. He's trying to put his personal stamp on everything. So Donald Trump did tweet some prototype copies of the new $100 bills. I think they're a little weird, right? Dude, oh, let's go. Dude, that is the new American fucking $100 bill right there, boss. The Donald Trump 100. Oh, isn't that funny? Oh shit. Did I see the post from Farron? No, what is the post? From Farron, like in the React on stream. Let me see. The in the React on stream. Oh, I'm looking in the general chit chat. What am I looking for? It's about the YouTube algorithm. Oh, all right. I have not. I have not. Fair and balanced. All right. And it is about the YouTube algorithm. I have not seen that. Dude, I will definitely check that out. YouTube has quietly but significantly shifted its algorithm around shorts, clickbait, AI-generated content, and viewer satisfaction signals. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the algorithm. What I have noticed is I have definitely noticed some shit, okay? What I have noticed personally for my channel is that my views have been very inconsistent, right? And then like I'm not getting a lot of new subscribers, which is really weird, right? Like normally there's a certain amount of subscribers you'd get if you get like, you know, 10,000 views. And I have been noticing that number is like 80% less than what it normally is. Okay. And right. And so it's like, it's pretty bizarre, dude. It's pretty bizarre. Yeah, well, so you know though, what's interesting about it though, base notes, is I don't my videos never have bad retention, right? Like my political videos always hover in the 50% retention range, which is like pretty fucking good for a small channel, right? You know what I'm saying? I like my retention is I've never had a clickbait issue. And in fact, the only time I have bad retention, this is what's really weird, guys, about YouTube. Let me just take a sideline take here. What I've noticed is the only time I have low retention is when they like a video goes wide. Okay. Every time my videos like blow up, they do like 30% retention. And then every video that is small does like, 50% retention, which is like weird, right? It's like pretty bizarre that, which makes sense though. When you go to a really wide audience, you're hitting a lot of people that are watching less, but yeah, something has definitely been a little bit different though. That at least what I've noticed is you got to be really careful covering certain topics, right? I will watch that video though. I'm glad though to see that other YouTubers are like having some struggles, right? And I'm glad to see that, so that it's not just me, because for when that shit goes down, you always think like, oh shit, you think like, oh, am I doing something wrong? But now I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers talking about it. Dude, it is like pretty crazy. You know what I have felt, guys? Okay. I have felt that like YouTube is pushing specific topics. That's what I've felt. I have felt that YouTube encourages certain things to be covered now, and certain things it's like it doesn't want covered. And I've found that like a little bit bothersome. You know what I mean? Where I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's like it's trying to aim the content, and it's doing that through throttling. Looks like they're cracking down on the bait and switch thumbnails. See, you know what I wish they would do, guys? I wish they would get rid of those AI generated videos. Okay? I do. I wish they would get rid of the videos that are, there's a bunch of pictures with an AI voice, and you know what I'm saying? A bunch of pictures with an AI voice telling some bullshit story that's not even true. Like YouTube has this thing where they show us, here's breakout videos that you should think about for your next video. And every time I look at those breakout videos that are getting 500,000 views, they're AI slop from some channel called Politics, Now Today, right? And it's some faceless channel with no human being just doing nothing but AI slop. And those videos have like 500 views. And like that to me is fucking bullshit. That YouTube, like if you're not a real human being with your face, they should downvote your fucking content. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like if they should. There should be some way that they can analyze and see if it's like a real human being like interacting. Because I feel like they need some kind of controls to reward like human beings on the platform. You know what I'm saying? And that is really, it is really like reducing the quality of the fucking content, right? Dude, Eddie, let's go. Thank you, boss. All right, I'm going to start the watch dance party goal now. But yeah, thank you for that link. I will look into it. But we're going to burn through some stuff, guys. We do have an interesting show today to look at, okay? I want to look at the Candace. She is going hard on Erika Kirk. Dude, AOC, somebody needs to get a body bag for Ted Cruz. AOC just absolutely bodied Ted Cruz. And guys, there is a major war, a 𝗙𝗍𝗶𝗹𝗀 war is about to break out because the anti-Semites are, dude, this is crazy. You ready? The anti-Semites are fighting with Nick Fuentes, the other anti-Semites, right? The most extreme anti-Semites are now fighting with your run-of-the-mill 𝗙𝗍𝗶𝗹 anti-Semites. And this shit is funny, dude. Oh my God. These people are such losers, dude. Yeah, no, he's being accused of being a Fed. Dude, let's start with the Fuentes. Dude, let's just start with it. Because I don't know why, but it's just fucking it's so crazy. What is the shadow committee? I don't know what that means. Rachel, what is shadow committee? All right. Yeah, we're gonna start with Fuentes, okay? So first off, okay, let's do this. All right. So look at this shit, guys. Look at these guys. Dude, these guys are it's hard, okay? I'm going to lament here for a minute, okay? It is hard for me to witness what is taking place in politics where I mean, I don't know if it's actually happening or if it's just propaganda online, but the fact that Spencer Pratt is being suggested as a legitimate mayoral candidate for Los Angeles is so frightening, especially since another reality TV star is sinking the goddamn world economy as we speak. And then they're just, people are like, oh, this Spencer Pratt guy really makes sense. It's dude, what the fuck is going on? And now you have Dan Bilzerian running in Florida. It is all of a sudden the worst people on the planet can show up and just say terrible, rotten things, and they're being considered political candidates simply because they're not political candidates. Right? Right? You show up and you're like, fuck this, fuck everybody, screw this. Oh, here's an AI video. Yeah, I'm going to fucking take a dump and fucking throw it at my opponent. And people are like, yeah, I want to vote for that. That sounds really awesome. People that are basically, I'm going to just burn the whole system down, right? I'm going to come out and just be an awful human being online. And people are like, yeah, I want to vote for the most awful human being online. I want the meanest, emptiest, most goofy, just stupid, hey, let's fucking shotgun a beer in the backyard. And they're like, yeah, I want to vote for that. It is idiocracy times 100, okay? Right? It is one, it is crazy. And here's an example, okay? Here's an example of, look at who is at Dan Bilzerian's house, okay? Nick Fuentes, Dan Bilzerian, Jake Shields, and Myron Gaines are all hanging out. What the fuck, dude? I guess there's no audio. But dude, these guys are now, Dan Bilzerian is running for Congress, okay? And you have Myron Gaines, Nick Fuentes, right? Dan Bilzerian and fucking Jake Shields, talking about running for office. Okay. Now, Dan Bilzerian is running against Randy Fine, who is a pig. Okay. So it's like a pig running against a pig. But there's no good option there. Right? There's no good option. You have Randy Fine, you have Dan Bilzerian. There's no good option. Now, maybe that's a Dem pickup, okay? Maybe that's a Dem pickup. But all right, let's catch up on the Fuentes thing, though. We're going to start with the Fuentes. And because, first off, we have Bilzerian called Nick Fuentes a Fed, okay? That's where we started, is Dan Bilzerian is calling Nick Fuentes, where is he here? Okay, so here's what we got. All right. Did he make a statement or did he just talking about Randy Fine? We have this, okay, that I thought it was a tweet. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here it is. Okay, here it is. So, thank God, I was starting to worry. All right, so here, look at this, dude. Oh, Jesus. Dude, Steven Crowder. Dude, look at what's happening here, okay? Look at what's happening and where they're like, there's now a fight in the MAGA party because one group is like the other group doesn't hate Jews enough for them. That's actually happening in the post-MAGA party. This is Florida right now, okay? So, Crowder, do you hate all Jews? Fuentes, no. Crowder, do you consider yourself an anti-Semite? Fuentes, no. Do you believe white people are superior? Fuentes says no. And then Fuentes also says he isn't a Fed, and it appears Tyler Robinson murdered Charlie Kirk. All right, we're going to look at this clip in a minute. But the response to this is Elon Musk is now in with these guys. He's a Fed, okay? And right, Elon Musk, of course, is holding court with all of these Hitler youth, okay? Now, Dan Bilzerian, though, hops in on this and says Nick's movement is a personality cult built around outrage, ego, and attention seeking. I want no part of it. Dude, that's Dan Bilzerian that just said outrage, ego, and attention seeking. That's the guy who like films himself on private jets with a bunch of hired models. Dude, all right. The Epstein cabal has pitted us against each other, stripped away our sovereignty, and buried the country in debt. We need to take our country back. Crazy how hard they've shadow banned my account since I announced I'm running for office. So there is this concerted Nick Fuentes is a Fed. Okay, now Fuentes responds to Dan Bilzerian. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's just start watching some of these clips here. All right, here we go.
Come on, Dan. Get with the times.
Yeah, I love Dan, but it's a little bit irritating when people that they're not really thinking about what you're talking about come in and start saying stuff like that. Because it's like, I've explained this over and over and over again. He's like, well, the Democrats aren't going to build anything. It's like, I know that's not really the point, but it's okay. I like Dan, but I don't appreciate that. It is what it is. People don't want to fucking listen. Everybody wants to talk. Nobody wants to listen. It's okay. No. Let's just say Hitler was right every day. Hitler was right. Oh, the Holocaust didn't actually happen. I think there's something going on with the Jews. Let's never bother to actually know what the fuck we're talking about or analyze structurally what's going on. It's like, I don't know. It's very frustrating because you come up with a strategic idea And then you get somebody that comes in and they're like, well, we all just need to run for office. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, man. Well, whatever. You got the answers. Let's all just do that then. Yeah, you got the answers. Let's all just run for Congress as an independent and tweet Hitler rules every day. Like, so it's like, I don't know, man. I get a little irritated with that.
Dude, he is having a bit of a meltdown here.
But whatever, we disagree. But I do like him and I respect him, and I just disagree. I don't love that. Oh, the Democrats aren't going to build anything. I fucking know. That's that. If you understand how it works, we're voting for them in the midterms so they get the House and use their oversight powers to slow down Trump. And this sabotages J.D. Vance, who's the biggest problem. People don't think that far ahead, though, so that's whatever.
𝗵𝗡𝗠𝗏 $50.
Dude, so there's his play, right? Sabotage Trump and sabotage Vance. That's his little bit. Now, dude, they are like fighting with one another, though, okay? Right? Because here, dude, like, they're attacking Randy Fine, right? dude. Dude, they're fighting. Oh my God, they're arguing about if one of them is like Jewish or not. Bro, what are these guys doing? Okay, here we go. You ready? All right. So,
and then walk me through.
all right, here's Crowder and Fuentes. Now Fuentes is moderating his anti-Semitism.
And then walk me through the plan.
So, in 2024, I didn't vote Republican. I recused myself. I just told people not to vote. Everybody thinks I voted for Kamala, but I didn't. I just told people to withhold their vote. But in 2026, what really did it for me was the war in Iran. I think that, for me, that was the red line. We were promised no new wars. We got a war in Iran. And I really believe that if you vote for Republicans after that, it's almost like you'll tolerate anything, because that's such an explicit betrayal and on a very serious matter. And then what's more, to maybe get into the positive reason for voting Democrat as opposed to withholding your vote or not voting Republican, is I think that when you look at the House of Representatives in particular, and I say this on my show, they exercise oversight powers under the Constitution. And so they can depose, they can compel the release of documents, they can subpoena, form subcommittees. And I really believe that they, set against the Republicans, will actually work to slow down the administration. And it's not just that the administration is not doing things, they're doing things that are bad. They did try to bury the Epstein files, and if it wasn't for the Democrats and a handful of Republicans, they would have never seen the light of day. And then you have the War Powers Resolution in the Senate, which got shut down basically along party lines, with one exception, which was John Fetterman. And so, and then you have a group of Democrats, this is just last week, they put out a letter to the White House asking to disclose Israel's nuclear program. So I would like to see actually Democrats.
Can you repeat that last part just for people who maybe missed it? There was a lot of rapid fire, disclosing the nuclear program.
Yeah, there was a group of 20 House Democrats. They signed a letter to the White House basically asking the White House to acknowledge that Israel has a nuclear arsenal, because they believe, and I think it's correct, that the lack of disclosure about that creates a risk of miscalculation or escalation. We don't know where Israel's red line is when they would use a nuke. So these are just like a few examples where I think that it's actually a good thing for Democrats to have a divided government with Republicans and slow down and challenge some of the things that are going on, because I think they're not good.
Dude, how do these guys have a fucking, like, why do these guys have a fan base? You know what I'm saying? I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I get watching this ironically, you're making content, whatever, trying to destroy MAGA. But dude, they literally actually have like sizable fan bases of loyal viewers, right? I mean, Crowder, there was a time where Daily Wire was going to pay him like $50 million, and then he sabotaged that shit. Well, like, dude, these guys are terrible people. They're terrible people with like terrible ideas and terrible, like a terrible lack of charisma. All right, dude, let's do dance party goal. I am breaking my brain processing that, you know, these guys are the right-wing ecosphere. But so Nick Fuentes is now like wanting to sabotage Trump by voting Democrat. Right? That's what's going on. He is openly saying, you know, instead of not voting, let's sabotage the fucking Democrats. Or I mean, sabotage the Trump admin. Okay? Here's another little snippet that we got to watch.
I really believe that this administration is just cooked. Like, I don't think there's going to be a course correction. I have no faith in this administration. I think Trump is old. The people around him are very bad. And so I think the real question is, and this is a huge question, who will be Trump's successor? Because that person is going to define the direction of the party. And I really believe there should be a very competitive primary for the presidential race in 28. And what they're trying to do is consolidate support around either Vance or Rubio. As I'm sure you know, behind the scenes, there's a very big fight going on between donors and between party personnel. Are they going to get behind Rubio, which he seems to have the backing of the neocons and Mark Levin and AIPAC and Miriam Adelson? Or are they going to get behind Vance, who has the support of Little Tech, Palantir Tucker, you know, and he's going to clearly run in the more America First lane. At least nominally, he's going to claim that.
Dude, they don't have a viable successor. And dude, they don't have a viable successor. They don't. You know what I mean? And you know what's crazy too, guys? You ready for this? Both Rubio and Vance have access to ungodly amounts of money. Ungodly. Dude, Petrozzi, let's go. Right? Like with Miriam Adelson and the AIPAC, Rubio has like millions. JD Vance has all the tech bros. Like, dude, we could very well see a Republican primary where they spend like $500 million, guys. Guys, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, dude. They have so much money. They have so much money. It is nuts. Who's the Dem frontrunner? We don't really know, Sandy, who the Dem frontrunner is. I mean, right now, who's polling the frontrunner is AOC. But they're right now, the top Dem candidates are Gavin Newsom, AOC, and Kamala Harris. But we don't really know who's running. I think the Republicans is a little more cut and dried because we do know who's running. We do know that it's Vance obviously is running, and we also know that Rubio is going to run. Dude, Banff DDR party, let's go. Mark Kelly, yeah. I mean, Mark Kelly may run. Fetterman may run, okay? I mean, there's going to be a lot of, you know, DeSantis may run. Dude, DeSantis is never going to win, boss. There's no chance, dude. Rhonda, dude, no way, right? I don't think AOC is going to run in 28. Ethan, let's go. I think AOC might, you know, like draw the attention like she's going to run just to sort of keep everybody on their toes. But you know, it's going to be intriguing. Right? You know, it's going to be intriguing. Yeah, she's definitely not run. Ted Cruz, Fetterman. Oh man, dude. I think like right now, if I had to say like who the front runners are realistically right now is, you know, Newsom and Kamala, right? I think those two. Right? I mean, Kamala got a lot of votes, and she still has a very, like, large fan base in the party. So I feel like Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris right now are the two realistic front runners. But, guys, we're so far away. we are so far away. I don't even really want to speculate on the Dem presidency because it's so far away. I mean, right now, I just feel like we don't even know if we're going to win the House this year. I mean, I still hope we are, but you just never know. They're going to pull some shit. I mean, Trump is going to pull some shit. You know what I'm saying? He is, dude. It's going to get crazy. But all right.
And I think that we should not have consolidation where it's 80% behind one candidate. I think it should be wide open. I also don't like either Rubio or Vance because I think you get a neocon or a Palantir guy. And so to me, the only way to have an open field is if everyone associated with the administration is sufficiently weakened. So I'm actually rooting for Democrats to degrade and sabotage this administration and the people in it so that they're less politically viable. And maybe that clears the way for a dark horse or an outsider, someone from outside the Maga, Mar-a-Lago, Trump administration to maybe clinch the nomination in 28. And to me, that's really the big picture.
Okay. So here's my primary problem, what you just said. And it's that keyword maybe. So my first question is the roster. You say, yeah, competitive primary. I agree. I hear who you don't want. The roster, the funds, the ground game. Maybe, right? Because you've tried this before. It's failed. The losses are real with the Democrats that we faced. I would argue, I think it'd be tough to argue against, worst 3 years in modern American history. The wins, the potential wins that you're describing are—
Dude, the worst 3 years in modern American history, dude. Dude, what the fuck happened to these guys during Biden that was like so bad? The worst 3 years? Dude, modern American history, that's like the crash of 2008, planes flying into buildings, war with thousands of people dying. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we could go back to, you know, like, how do they equate Biden with the worst 3 years in modern American history? Dude, I mean, that is so melodramatic. Like, what the fuck happened in those 3 years to these guys? None of them, you know? Dude, the immigrant invasion. Yeah, there's not even, dude, you know what's so fucked about that immigration shit? Is everybody had that immigration issue. It was simply all the shit was closed. The asylum and all that shit was closed for like 2 years because of COVID. And then there was a barrage, okay? Like 2 years of backlog all hit at one time. There was going to be no way of like managing that smoothly, right? I mean, guys, it's like if you have a tiny creek with a dam blocking a fucking reservoir and you just open that dam, there is no way, there was going to be no way to fucking to manage that. Like even if Trump had won again, it would have been like catastrophic. Dude. Oh my God. Jesus.
Are imaginary with no concretes. And I know that you talked about this with Dan Bilzerian, so I'm not trying to sandbag you here, but if I'm going, okay, there's a risk. It's a political play. Well, I won't be able to take part, along with many conservatives, Republicans, because I cannot vote Democrat. Doesn't mean I'll vote for Republicans all across the board. Can't vote Democrat. But the roster, the funds, the ground game. You know, the things that you need to win elections in 2028 through the major risk of handing the country over to Democrats when we know that that means open borders, packing the courts, turning them into citizens, right? DEI back in the administration, H-1B skyrocketing again, all of that. Huge risk, concretes, so we see the payoff.
Dude, these guys.
I really believe that.
Dude, these guys are
This
so
administration
bizarre,
is just-
bro. Jesus. Dude, Crowder. Dude, you know what? I gotta say, I think I would rather see these two make out. It would be more interesting watching these two guys kiss and like make out than watching them talk about politics, guys. Right? And I'm not even gay. I still think that would be more satisfying. Dude, the huge risks. Huge risks. Now, the Supreme Court is something for them to worry about? Absolutely. Like the Supreme Court is definitely, they should be worried about that. But I mean, dude, the Supreme Court is fucked right now. It is, dude. It is fucked. All right. There was another clip I thought we had here. Oh, yeah. I want to see the Candace Owens claiming that fucking Nick Fuentes is a federal informant.
No one's arguing about Jeffrey Epstein's perverted interest, a sexual interest. No one's arguing that. However, Nick Fuentes is going to explain why actually that's not pedophilia. Take a listen.
This whole pedo thing, it's like, is it really pedophilia? I don't want to be the one that has to say it, but I guess I'm being forced to say it. It's not really pedophilia, okay? They weren't trafficking 5-year-olds. It was like they were technically not legal. Big difference, in my opinion. I know that's a controversial take, but that's not really the issue there, okay? The issue... I mean,
technically it's a 𝗙𝗍𝗄𝗎𝗓, right, is like the adult men and fucking teenagers. Crowder needs to get a BF, he does. Right? I mean, we as a society have taken the word pedophile and applied that across all, like, any age gapping and underage person, right? Whereas, you know, the actual physical pedophilia is prepubescent, okay? And yeah, he's like, it's weird though. I don't know why you need to make that distinction. We're not having nobody's talking about the scientific investigation here. I personally though, guys, I will say, as somebody who was molested as a young person, I wish we had not, like, I feel like we have actually, you know, fudged the severity of some of this shit because we have lumped it all together, you know, because like a 20-year-old sleeping with a 17-year-old or right is a lot different than a 40-year-old man and his fucking 8-year-old daughter, you know, and like, I wish we hadn't fucking blanket termed this shit. You know what I'm saying? But again, that has nothing to do with Epstein. I don't care if people call Epstein a pedo and everybody. I just wish as a society, we hadn't kind of like taken these very serious things and made that like a one-word shop to them to where, you know, now we, you know, the severity of crimes are like, it's like that word pedo gets thrown around like it's not even, it doesn't hold any weight anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's become a slang term, which is unfortunate because the more we've made it be this sort of like repetitive slang term that we apply to everything, the less the actual crime, you know, becomes important to the point of where people are, you know, some people are ready to move on from Epstein, you know, and that is like, to me, that feels like a bum deal. But Nick Fuentes is not talking about any of this. All right. For the record, this is not what Nick Fuentes is talking about. This is my own fucking thing of like watching how people have desensitized the language to where the crime isn't really taken seriously anymore, guys. You know, like that's just it. Like people molesting underage people is just not taken seriously anymore. It's like a joke to where, you know, they make these rash generalizations like libs of TikTok really had a lot to do with this, when their campaign of calling every gay person a pedo, right? Every gay teacher was a groomer, was a pedo. They desensitized the language to where, you know, you have the pedo hunters making this YouTube content where now it's like a reality TV slang term for anyone that you find like gross or right. And that is fucking, you know, that is it's a problem for us socially. It is, because this shit is rampant. Okay, this shit is so rampant. And I'm not even talking about the Epstein version where people are trafficking. I'm talking about the number of kids right now in America being molested by parents, brothers, uncles, step-parents, pastors, coaches, teachers. This shit is fucking rampant. Okay, it is so much more rampant than people want to acknowledge. And it is like we act like Epstein is like not like, oh my God, the crazy Epstein, like that shit's happening right now all over this country, dude. In a lot, like, you know, like I'd venture to guess that, you know, there maybe 15-20% of like kids in certain, you know, households, alcoholic households, where this shit is fucking happening, guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is like 20% of kids are like suffering this shit. And we're not even really talking about it. And now some of these states are doing this crazy shit, like the death penalty. And it's like, oh, you think if a girl's stepdad is doing something to her, she's going to come forward if she knows they're going to like murder her stepdad? She's never going to fucking say anything. She's going to take that shit to the grave, you know? You know what I mean? And that is, and I think though, guys, I think part of the reason why we're not talking about it in the right way is because we have desensitized. I'm sorry, I need to put it. I was on the wrong chat, guys. We have desensitized the language. You know, we have like made it to where it is like, it's like, it is like in the common vernacular, you know, and then it's like, oh, you know, they're monsters. They're not monsters. The people that do this are not monsters. They are trusted community members. They are people that are like generally really good with kids. They're really good at earning their trust. They are the people that like are good listeners to kids, that really take care of them. That's what makes it so criminal. It is not like creepy weirdo monsters. They're actually good with kids. That's how they get away with it. It is like, it is fucked up. And we don't really address it, but I know I've gone on a tangent, but that's my own personal thing. Like, I really would like to see this dealt with in a way that is more realistic. You know what I'm saying? And they're not like the brothers the half brothers that molested me. They were not monsters. I mean, they were damaged, but like they actually cared for me, which is what made it so fucked up, guys. That's what makes it so fucking so hard to process as a kid. It's like so like mentally confusing, okay? Because they're just like abused. They're abused themselves. You know what I'm saying? It is like it gets passed down the line, like all this generational shit. But anyway, let's get back to Fuentes here being a fucking weirdo.
Is not that they were barely legal teens, which is...
They were not barely legal teens. Fuck you, Nick Fuentes.
What it is. It's horrendous. It's awful. It's pedophilia. Okay, relax. No, the issue is that Epstein is a Jewish spy probably working with Israel. That's the dilemma there. He's working with Israeli intelligence.
Honestly, this is a time where it is appropriate to say this.
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Agree. I watched stuff. Just stop right there. Why are we always here in society for no reason? How easy is it not to do that? Okay.
See, you know what's crazy about this? Dude, this fucking idiot we're looking at and this idiot who's posting this clip, they literally voted for Donald Trump. Okay? A groper, like rapist, like child abuser, like watching teen girls in the pageant and then openly talking about it. They voted for him, and they're all talking about like Epstein and these guys, right? Isn't that wild? Like, what kind of disconnect is it that these fucking idiots voted for Donald Trump and then they're walking around like noticing all the other abusers? Like, bro, there is some, like, they are all so mental.
Not to try to use some technicality, which, by the way, who do you think is in control of these definitions, by the way? I mean, they are changing the definition of what it means to be a girl and a boy right now. So if you can find, well, look at this definition. Technically, if the...
Dude, nobody's changing a definition of what a girl and a boy are, Candace, you idiot.
Person is 11, if the person's not under 5... Who cares if they're prepubescent? The point is not pedophilia. We're just, we've expanded the definition. We're constantly expanding and changing definitions to confuse people against common sense, okay? If you are sexually interested in prepubescent children, you're a pedophile. How about that? Is that easy? Thumbs up? Cool? We good?
That's
and
accurate.
And what is just so remarkable to me, and like I said, I've been fine with him doing his thing. Obviously, he's a federal informant. It's ridiculous for people that don't understand that. It's ridiculous that people just keep following him despite the overwhelming evidence. I mean...
Dude, isn't it funny, though? She's like, it's obvious he's a federal informant. Meanwhile, she's like getting sued by the president of France, and like... She is like all over Erika Kirk. Like all of these right-wing people, guys, you know what I'm saying? All of these right-wing people are so fucking mental. Like they're all liars. They're all frauds. They're all getting paid by some type of dark money to, you know what I mean? Like they're in group chats. They have dark money funding their messaging. They are working for religious groups or evangelical billionaires. Like they are all like pushing hidden agendas and meanwhile just making up straight lies about their opponents in their party and out of their party. Like they are all just trying to tear down everyone like but them. Okay? There's like no, I mean, you've heard the phrase, right? No honor among thieves, right? No honor among thieves. That's what it reminds me of. How they are just like each of them is a jackal that will destroy the credibility of every other jackal at any chance they get. And creating, like feeding into conspiracy theory because the one unifying force behind all of them is that their fan base believes it's a cabal of some kind. Okay? The cabal is either the Jews or Mossad or the CIA or Obama or like some room of rich men wearing crystals in the forest, or it's, you know, some fucking gathering. Everything is like some type of eyes wide shut, you know, sexual animal fucking sacrificing. Yeah, the Freemasons, or what's the one in the forest in San Francisco that the village, no, it's not the village. What's it called? The Grove, right? The Grove. I mean, and it is so easy. Yes, Bohemian Grove. It is so easy. Okay. It is so easy to like they can endlessly manufacture another invisible enemy, okay? And then they just create them against each other. Dude, Sinful, what shirt am I wearing? This is my shirt. This is from my band, the Wanteds, and Failure Looks So Good. That is my album, that one of the albums that's on Apple Music. Down in the description, you'll recognize this little symbol is from the album cover. And that is a record. You can listen to that music on all the social media things. And I fucking will be, I have these for sale too, actually, at my website. Right now it's actingliketommie.com, but it's going to be the new one as well. Dude, yeah. Dude, 4.5 minutes, guys. Let's go. We need 25 and 4.5. We're going to fucking put Candace down for a minute. Hey, ho, ya, hey. Let's go. Dude, yeah. No, I know. They're so crazy. They're just, it is whacked out. So we do need 25. Let's go. Yes, I just sent you a text about that too, Jenny. Look at my text real quick. Put Candace down for a minute. We're putting her down. Let's go. Guys, 3 minutes. We need 24 and 3, guys. We need the Bohemian Grove. Elf, let's go. Been feeling a little appreciation for this goal. Thank you, Elf. Dude, you're like the quarterback, boss. Thank you. All right, guys. 23. Let's go. Miss Prather, welcome. Dude, they're just, you know, guys, I hate to say this. I feel like it starts with the Bible, okay? It starts with the Bible, guys. These people are educated and they are built on fairy tales with like one big Wizard of Oz type, you know, like all string pulling sort of creator. And then it makes it very easy for them to just extrapolate that same ecosystem onto everything in the real world. That's what happens. Dude, Steph, let's go. Religious people are really prone to that shit. Dude, Bohemian Dance Party, let's go, Eddie. All right, 2 minutes, guys. We need 21 and 2. We got to turn it on. It is the OG cult. The original cult was the Bible, right? Why can't people be normal? Dude, higher mind, right? The higher mind fucks them up. Dude, 20 to go. Let's go, Kim. Kim bringing it home. There we go. All right, guys, 2 minutes. 20 away, 1/3 of the way there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Here's a little taste. Oh. Yeah, no, these shirts are badass. They're good shirts. The babble of the bibble, 1.5 minutes. Oh, shit, boss. Whew. 120. Dude, they're sleeved shirts. Yes. One minute. Dude, Elf, let's go. The Bible and 10 Commandments need to be removed from all public schools. Yes. Dude, they do. All right, they do, but they're... Dude, Engrain, let's go, dude. Mariners, big win, dude. Dom Canzone, grand slam, motherfucker. Dude, that was beautiful. First pitch, dude, he jumped on that shit. I was like, oh, yeah. Let's go, let's go. All right, 25 seconds. We need 18. I'm going to have to extend this. Right? Religion doesn't belong in schools. Yeah, I know, but they're trying to get people like the religious people are convinced that if you follow religion, you will behave in a moral way. And unfortunately, there's no evidence of that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Atheists commit less crimes. They do. Dude, religious people are far more prone to do nasty shit because they believe they have some forgiveness awaiting them, right? And not to mention, all of the most toxic people out there gravitate towards religion because it provides them, they can be a better wolf. All right, here, we're gonna reset this. We're gonna start a new goal. We're gonna try and get these. I'm gonna make it short. We're just gonna bang it out, all right? We're going to get the ones we didn't get. There we go. Let's go. All right. There it is, dude. Dude. Oh, time's not out? Yeah, no, the time's out. All right. We're going to fucking dude, let's go. There it is. All right. There we go. Sometimes I wonder if Trump purposely slashes at Fox so the viewers fall off into these wilder platforms. Dude, I don't know. Maybe need some Paula. Let's go, Victor. Hey! Dude, we're going to bang it out. Let's go. Dude, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪. All right, hold on. We'll finish the Candace video. We'll come back. There was a Bible class at Peabody. It's all academic, not religious at all, even though it's a private school. Let's go. Let's go, Elf. Yeah, see, I think there's nothing wrong with teaching, like, the history of religions. But, guys, most religious people do not want you to teach about the history of religion, because that really, like, pulls the curtain back, okay? If you learn about the history of how these things got started, there's a lot of, that leaves the pastors with a lot of questions to answer, okay? That's why they tend to not like that at all. They simply want you to learn that, like, you must obey this and you must conform or you're going to suffer eternally, dude, it's fucked up. But yeah, they do not like you learning the history. They don't want those tough questions.
This guy took a meeting with Dan Wilkes' partner after years of screaming about Ben Shapiro and talking about Israel and all. He took a meeting with Defend Texas Liberty and Ferris Wilkes' partner, and pitched, one reporter got documents, was pitching to sell the data of his followers. And people were like, that's fine. He led people into a Capitol with a bullhorn and said, ignore police, storm the barriers, as if he had fed instructions. And we know for a fact he was informed the night before by Milo Yiannopoulos, that the feds were going to beat, that there was some Fed trap happening. And despite that, he went with a bullhorn. He didn't just attend, he had a bullhorn, and he's telling people to storm, and he doesn't get arrested. And his lawyer wants to go off record when he's asked directly about whether or not he is a federal informant. It's been so in your face and obvious. The ridiculous, I just got $250,000 in Bitcoin from France from a guy who's killed himself and published a letter 24 hours after he was dead, because he set it on a timer, and it's in perfect English. And anybody who's ever been to France, French people don't speak perfect English. They are not writing a letter in English, even if they speak perfect English. It's just been so absurd.
Dude, their like evidence is always so weak, right? Have you noticed? You know what I'm saying? Have you noticed, like, the evidentiary standard with all of these right wingers is like, well, let me tell you what my husband's, like, boss's gardener's assistant third cousins, taco delivery guy told me this really juicy bit of information that I then verified with Grok AI. Dude, they're like, oh, let me tell you here. Obviously, he showed up with a bullhorn, so he must be a Fed.
That it offends my senses. It offends my sensibility that people have been following him. This is a Glee Club kid, okay? He's dramatic. I like Nick Fuentes clips. Like I like watching Real Housewives clips. And this is, by the way, the problem, as I've said, that heterosexual men cannot continue to follow theater boys. This is actually an illness in our society, is that people who are playing the part of men and are actually at their core theater boys and want to go to Congress and want to have platforms and would never fight wars, they are, for whatever reason, being listened to by actual men.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Her fucking husband is like a theater boy at best, right? You know what I mean? Have you seen her husband? Dude, right? Dude, she was hanging out with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is a theater boy. Like, there was nothing about Charlie Kirk that was remotely manly, okay? He had the gum line of, like, the fucking Sahara, okay? He was like a 12-year-old, like, questionable sexuality boy, okay? Probably calls his mommy on Saturday mornings to, oh, hey, mommy. Oh, guess what me and Erika did? Oh. Right? Oh, are you going to come to the show? Did you watch my clip on the YouTube? He is like all of these guys, dude.
This was just unbelievable to me that the statement was made and you couldn't see that it was going to end here. Of course, this is what happens. This is what happens when you elect or you decide that you're going to follow people who don't like women.
Dude, I mean, that is accurate, but there's not a single right-wing influencer who likes women. I defy you to show me a right-wing influencer who likes women. Like, let's run through some. Glenn Beck, he's gay. Okay, Benny Johnson, gay. Steven Crowder, gay and abusive to women. Nick Fuentes is gay, also abusive to women. Like maces them when they show up. Let's see who else. Myron Gaines, Jake Shields. Oh, those guys are pigs. Okay, they don't like women. Dude, Andrew Tate he's definitely bisexual, but he doesn't like women. Right? Let's see. Who have we left out? Aiden Ross doesn't like women. Sneeko doesn't like women. I mean, I defy you to find, a like, I hate to say this. You ready? Oh, don't hate me for saying this. But I actually, clavicular dude, he's a pig. He doesn't like women. I think Logan Paul might be the least piggish of all of them. I hate to say, dude, even though he's a pig and that's a low bar, but I think Logan Paul might be the one influencer that is not an absolute straight woman hater. And he is absolutely a con and a degenerate and, just a manipulator. But I think he's probably the one guy that is of all of them that's not a complete and utter shitbag to women, okay? I mean, his brother certainly is, okay? Dude, Jake is terrible, but I think I'll say Logan Paul, I'll give him, he's maybe the one influencer who isn't simply a straight up woman hater, okay? And he probably swings the other way of jealous little boy, but he's not a straight up just fucking, absolute woman hater like all the rest of them are, Isn't that crazy? Dude, that's sad, bro. Dude, That is like the right wing women defense league. All you have is like Logan Paul, dude. Dude, right? Nick Sortor is right. Nick Sortor's a creepy weirdo, stalker, right? Chases women around. Let's see who else. I'm trying to think if we left anybody out. Oh my God, dude. Kid Rock is a degenerate. Dude, Nick Shirley. I don't think Nick Shirley, I've never seen him talk to a woman, dude. Dude, isn't that weird? Dude, Matt Walsh is like a creepy stalker. Like Matt Walsh is the kind of guy who drills a hole in the drywall and he's like watching girls pee in his house and shit. Dude, Matt Walsh, like, dude, Michael Knowles, same thing. Both of those guys are like, you have to use the bathroom, okay? Okay. Dude, like Nick Shirley, I've never even seen Nick Shirley talk to a woman other than his mom. I don't think I've seen Nick Shirley on camera in the same room with a woman, dude. Oh, shit. Dude, we got 20 minutes, guys. Let's bang this out. Oh, shit. Technically, we only need 18, but we'll get the full 20, right? Just because we're cool like that. Bro. Yeah. I mean, it is not looking good for the right wingers, guys. Right? You know, not looking good, boss. Not looking good at all. All right? Oh, yeah, there's Elon. Look at him, dude. And still, dude, and green, let's go. Yes. Dude, why didn't that register? Dude, what the fuck, bro? Dude, YouTube is fucking pissing me off. Dude, look at Elon. Yeah, he's saying, oh, it wasn't a Nazi salute. Like, what a dick, bro. Look at him. What a fucking douche, dude. You know, these guys are such douches, right? Like, how does this guy do this and like people like make excuses for him, right? You know, like what world are we living in where like he fucking does that shit so blatantly, you know? I'm not talking about him doing it. I'm talking about people excusing the behavior, right? That's what I'm talking about. How do we have a world where, I'm not surprised that Elon does this, but how do we have a world where major media figures will watch him do this and we all see it and then they all like play the denial game and they won't fucking, you know, cop to it? Like the gaslighting and the lack of integrity, it just sheerly like where nobody even, all they care about is money and political power. I know the ADL denied it. That's insane, dude. Like, really? Dude, like, what are we doing, man? It's like they're all in the same fucking bed together. Dude, let's go. Dude, LMB, let's go. Dude, why is this shit not registering? Hold on, I'm resetting this, dude. This shit is like, what are we doing, boss? I'm not going to go through the goal with that shit not registering. Dude, thank you, LMB. Oh, let's try it again. There. What the fuck, boss? All right, this better work. All right, I'm going to do it 15 minutes. Bro, dude, I can't even operate a goal. All right. All right. Now it better work. And no, the $1.99 counts. Okay? Stickers don't count, Steph. Okay? Stickers don't count. But the $1.99 does count. Okay? The $1.99s are $2. They are just done on mobile. That's what the 99 is for, but those do count, right? Those absolutely count, right? It's the color. The light blue is the color. So whether it's $2 or $1.99, as long as it's light blue, it counts. Light blue and higher. Right? Like, there we go. Wilfred, there it is. $1.99. We have the one right there. Let's go. Yeah, it's that color. So we're good. They count. It's just sometimes when I reset it. So yeah, you don't have to worry about those. Those all count. There it is, Wilfred. Let's go. Oh, now we're moving. Yes. Back on track. All right. All right, we're getting it. We're getting it. We're getting it. Dude, Clown Prince. I don't know what to say, so screw Trump, ICE, Nazis, and Maga. Let's go, Clown. Dude, you're right on, dude. I think even Paula wants to get in on this. Wilfred, let's go. 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗪. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, everybody's getting in here. Striking. Let's go, LMB. Let's go, dude. Wilfred, let's go. See, now we're rolling, dude. Oh. Dude, now we're up to 6, dude. Step sell stuff by the seashore. Let's go. We got this. Oh. Dude, we're cruising. We are cruising. Woo, 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 woo. All right, so here, even Ben Shapiro and his caterpillar eyebrows are getting in on the anti-Nick Fuentes
Or
train.
Nick Fuentes, whose version of Christian observance involves fapping to cat boys and ranking people based on melanin level. Or Nick Fuentes,
On what?
whose version of Christian observance involves fapping to cat boys and ranking people based on melanin level.
Oh, melanin level. Fapping to cat boys? Dude, Ben Shapiro actually said cat fapping. Dude, what are we doing, bro? Dude, Benny, dude, his channel, his empire is dead. Yeah, he said melanin level, right? Dude, let's go. Dude, crawling wind, let's go, baby, let's go. Oh. Fapping to cat boys. Yeah, dude, I don't think Ben Shapiro would know what to do with a WAP. Okay, he wouldn't, dude. A WAP.
Excuses,
Right.
but I do want to get into what the plan is. You're right. It's hope. We're hoping for a space to be opened up for a candidate to go in, and there isn't anything specific. I have a candidate in mind, and there's a ground game being built and things like that. I can't share that information.
You think he's talking about Tucker here? Dude, 𝗙cie 𗗍𝗪𝗓, let's go! Thank you, 𝗙cie 𗗍𝗪. Wilfred, let's go! Dude, we're halfway there. You think he's talking about Tucker here with his candidate? Listen to this bit right here.
Excuses, but I do want to get into what the plan is. You're right. It's hope. We're hoping for a space to be opened up for a candidate to go in, and there isn't anything specific. I have a candidate in mind, and there's a ground game being built and things like that. I can't share that information. There's maybe a couple candidates that I'm looking at. But again, you know how it goes. Unless somebody's ready to announce, you can't really say, oh, so-and-so is going to run for office. And then especially because it's me, I can't be the harbinger of whoever the candidate will be.
Well, why?
But
Let's explore that, though, because we both agree, two-party system, you need voting blocks. You need coalition. So if there are that many people out there who share your view, shouldn't be a problem for you to endorse anyone. As a matter of fact, that's a net positive. So give us the name.
I can't do that. Once again, it's not somebody that's announced they're running. It's not somebody that maybe even is in contention. But I mean, you know how this goes. When you have people that are running for president, they don't say they're not going to make an announcement until they're ready to make an announcement.
Well, sure, but usually these people who are developing Republican strategies aren't telling people to vote Democrat in a midterm, right? That's a long game, and you need that answer for people to take it on faith. Otherwise, it's just snake handling.
Well, I think that, once again, either way, you can take my word for it or not, but what isn't going to work is Vance and Rubio.
So, dude, yeah, you think he's talking about Tucker? Katie Mullen says, I'm able to catch you live for a bit of Love Your Karma phone rips. They're hilarious and unique. Thank you. Dude, let's go. right? I did see what Mark Hamill said about Trump. You think the fact though that he said they're building a ground game, okay? Now that has me intrigued, right? Right? Again, these guys are notorious liars, so he could absolutely be, talking out his ass. But if he were talking someone real, the only person I can think of now that's like doesn't have their hat in there that would be building a ground game right now would be Tucker. Okay? It's that absolutely I could see that because guys, look at what Anna and Cenk are doing. They're already like astroturfing Tucker. Like now, dude, they are already sabotaging potential Dem candidates, and Tucker is like the fulcrum of all of those attacks. 100% that Tucker is running for president, and 100% that they are already like laying the groundwork for that with influencers. I absolutely fucking see that. Okay? I absolutely see that happening. And now the question though, guys, here's the question that I have. The question is I think he might run as an independent. Okay? I don't think Tucker would run under the Republican brand. I can honestly see him running as an independent and believing that there's going to be like a semi-connected to Israel candidate in the Democratic Party, and he believes he'll be able to like grab the entire middle. That's kind of what I see with the way Cenk and Anna are behaving. I'm like, man, if he does run, he may do the Ross Perot thing, but at a time when there's no heir apparent in the Republican Party and there's no like solid, everybody on the left is jamming behind, one Democrat. Okay. So I don't know. I don't think it's very realistic, but guys, I thought Trump had no shot of winning in 2024. I thought there is no way this guy wins. Okay, I thought maybe if Joe Biden stays in, he wins because nobody will show up and vote for Biden. But the minute Kamala was in there and the minute she picked Tim Walz, I was like, dude, there's no fucking way Donald Trump is going to win this. Right? I was like, there's no way, man. There's no way. You say Tucker isn't going to run, he makes more money. Yeah, but so the thing about that, though, Anita, is the reason why I think Tucker will run is because he's got a massive ego. For him, it's not about money. For him, it's about power. And for him, I believe because he got fired because of Donald Trump, him like ending the MAGA movement and winning the presidency as an America firster would be like a knife in Trump's back, like a fuck you for like, I got fired lying for your dumb ass. And like, you know what I'm saying? I could absolutely see him wanting to win the presidency just to stick it to Trump. And, but even if he did and he lost, it would still like be a huge moneymaker. Like the fundraising and the elevation, like, that it's a big like elevator. But I've always thought he wants to do it as a vengeance, right? If you met Mark Hamill, you piss yourself with excitement. Dude, let's go. But we'll see. I don't know, man. Anything can happen, dude. His laugh is so annoying. All right. But Fuentes is saying, look at this. He's saying all the recent attacks against me are false and obviously coordinated. In the past few weeks, I've been attacked hard by the ADL, CBC, Washington Post, Tucker Carlson, Laura Loomer, and now Bilzerian. They want to shut me down and disrupt the groypers ahead of 2026 and 2028. Dude, these guys are idiots. 5 minutes, baby. We need 9 and 5. Let's go. Oh my God, dude. Now we have Batya Dude, this woman, I can't stand this woman, bro. This woman is such a freak show. Dude, 𝗙ηκε𝗍𝗃 girlfriend. Let's go. We got, there it is. Let's get this done. Yes, Elf. Let's go 5 minutes, guys. We need 8 more. Let's bang it out. We got this. Eight away, baby. 8 away. Peter Thiel funds TYT. He does. Dude, TYT's getting some dark money. I don't know who they're getting it from. Shin Godzilla, LFG, let's go. Oh. Appreciate you, Shin. 7 away, guys. Let's bring it home, dude. Let's bring it. Laura Loomer's running for president. Can you imagine? Oh my God. No, this is not the woman who interviewed Howard Lutnick. That woman was, she does look a little like her. That woman was, I think, an Australian interviewer. Some whistle while you work. Let's go. Jason's Australiana. Let's go. Shrimp on the bobby. We're only 5 away. 3 minutes, 5 away. We got this. Oh. Oh, dude, Jason's with another one. 4 away. 4 on the bobby. Dude, let's go on the bobby. Dude, I have the worst Australian accent out there. Like, dude, you're done. You're cut off. Dude, Elon is no BAMF, but Tommy is. This is true. Dude, Elon is not a BAMF. Dude, Elon is a fucking a drumpf, right? He is a dude, I don't know. I lost what I was going to say. Let's go. Steph Sells, thank you. 2 minutes, and we're 2 away. We got this. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. Dude, Second Amendment, anyone? Oh, yeah. Oh. Second Amendment. Very important amendment. Dude. Oh, shit. We're going to the show. 2 away, guys. We got this. Oh, ba-da-dan-dan-dan. Oh, chicka-dan-dan. Edolf, Musketeer. Gort, Elon worked out his mind. Dude, Elon, there it is. We did it, dude. There it is. The goal is complete. Jason's, let's go. Let's go, dude. Kate Nimbus, punks across the world dance. They do indeed. Let's go, Sinful. Tommy is BAMF of the year. Dude, I like that, actually. BAMF of the year and Elf, get her done. Let's go. All right. It was a successful campaign. Goal. All right. Dude, let's watch 𝗙𝗟𝗋𝗧𝗏𝗋𝗡𝗟. 𝗙𝗟𝗋𝗧𝗏𝗋𝗡.
Welcome back to the show. The racist, anti-Semitic, misogynistic podcaster Nick Fuentes came out as a Democrat this week, telling his audience, I'm a non-woke, moderate Democrat. I
came out as a Democrat? Dude, this guy's not a fucking Democrat.
think the GOP needs to be destroyed. He is not alone in crossing the aisle. Marjorie Taylor Greene has a newfound love for and among Democrats since she turned on Donald Trump and started blaming Israel for genocide, among all manner of other crimes. Tucker Carlson is now excited to meet with the Democratic Senate candidate for Maine, Graham Plattner, whose most salient feature is the Nazi tattoo he's had for 20 years and only covered up with another tattoo a few months ago when his political opponents were about to expose it. Anna Kasparian of the left-wing Young Turks has admitted she watches the virulently anti-Semitic Candace Owens.
Dude, the left-wing, the Young Turks. Dude, this woman is such a freak, bro. And like, oh.
And is deeply moved by Owens' content. This meeting of the minds between prominent far-right influencers and the left hinges on a singular issue: their level of comfort for blaming Jews for the world's ills. Once it passes a certain level, a person seems to invariably find themselves on the left these days, which has become hostile to Jewish interests.
Yeah, isn't this crazy? Like, most of the Jews in America are Democrats, guys. Like, let's be real. Okay, there's not a lot of Jews in the fucking right wing because there's so much anti-Semitism in the right wing of the American Party. But like these crazy, insane, like ultra Zionists, like I don't even consider Batya to be like she doesn't feel like a Jew. She doesn't feel Jewish. She feels like an IDF spokesperson. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what's so weird about this shit. Because like I said, guys, I was in a Jewish fraternity, okay, in college. I joined a fraternity. I'm not Jewish, but I joined a fraternity, these really cool fucking guys. And it was a predominantly Jewish. There were like 2 of us that were non-Jewish. And it was a fraternity that had been started by Jewish guys way back in the early turn of the century, right? But like, dude, there is nobody, okay? I was immersed in the Jewish culture, and there was nobody in that fucking realm that was like warmongering or like wanted Israel to expand and take land. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I've never known any Jewish people that like what Benjamin Netanyahu is doing, okay? I've not known one that likes that motherfucker, you know? And so, like, it's so weird to you know what I'm saying? Like, it is so weird, right? No, I was Sigma Alpha Mu was my fraternity. It was Sigma Alpha Mu. And the 𝗙𝗡𝗫 is the sorority, right? 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫. It's right. That was the sorority. Right? Yeah, I think that was it. Or wait. No, actually you're right. It is 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫. Right? Yeah, no, all right, there we go. That was the sorority. Oh no, that's a fraternity. All right. Dude, we didn't have an 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫, okay? I'm trying to think of there was a sorority at UCLA that was, now you're confusing me, wait a second. Dude, what? Oh, yeah, no, it was 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, dude, yeah, it was 𝗙𝗡𝗫 was the sorority, was like our sister sorority at UCLA. That was, but we did not have an 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫 chapter. There was no 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫 fraternity at UCLA. We had Sigma Alpha Mu, which was the one I was in, and then there was another fraternity called ZBT, right? That I guess also had a Jewish history in it, right? Oh shit, Leonard Cohen, let's go. But 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫 was the sister sorority, and then years later, after I was a drug addict, I got a job there as a hasher. Like after I left college, dude. I like later on, I had such a weird experience. I went to UCLA and I had girlfriends in 𝗙𝗡𝗫𝗫 and used to like sneak into that sorority house and yada, yada, yada. And then years later, like 7 years later, after being a drug addict, I got hired as a hasher at the sorority house that I used to hang out at when I went in college. I was one of the cooks. Dude, it was wild. It was like so weird, like just very strange. I used to bring my guitar and sit in the alleyway between sororities and play songs. All the girls would be on the balconies and shit. Dude, they loved me. It was pretty wild. But anyway, so what's crazy about this is like there's just something weird has gone on now where like all of this shit is getting fudged. Okay. That like, you know, they're trying to, you have people like this woman who is like an imperialism spokesperson, but she's acting like she speaks for the Jewish faith. And I feel like she's manipulating like the Jewish faith and like anti-Jewish sentiment into like allowing the imperialism and murder. And it's so gross. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's no fucking way that you can look at Gaza and see it as like not so over the fucking top, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so over the top. Like, you know, it's like, Jesus, dude.
Think of Abdul El-Sayed, a Michigan Senate candidate who has been campaigning with Hassan Piker, the guy who says he'd vote for Hamas over Israel.
Hassan Piker, dude.
Think of President Obama's speechwriters sanitizing Piker and going all in on Platner, Nazi tattoo and all. Think of the rest of the Democratic establishment.
Dude, fuck you, Batya. Dude, do I have to show you the fucking Elon Musk? Like, yo, Batya, look at your little buddy here. Okay, don't talk to us about the fucking tattoo on Platner, which he covered up. Don't talk to us about that shit when you're like polishing this guy's knob. Yeah, dude, her voice is so annoying, bro. It is like hard to listen to her. Like, her voice just grates on me.
Called every MAGA Republican a Nazi for 10 years, now lining up to proudly all in on Platner, Nazi tattoo and all. Think of the rest of the Democratic establishment who called every MAGA Republican a Nazi for 10 years.
They are Nazis.
Now lining up to proudly endorse a guy with an actual 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 tattoo on his chest. It is not just podcasters and tattoos. Leftists killed 3 Jews this year in America and tried to kill hundreds more. But if the Democrats...
Hundreds more? Dude, what is she talking about, bro? Dude.
The mainstream has gone out of its way to make bigots feel at home. The GOP has consistently made it clear that anti-Semitism has no place in its ranks. Republican after Republican has come out against Fuentes. The president himself basically kicked Carlson and Owens and other podcasters out of the party in a series of social media posts. On Twitter, in interviews, and on this very show, you have seen Republican senators, members of Congress, influencers, and members of the president's cabinet come out against the anti-Semitic shift.
Dude, hold on, we gotta fucking... There we go. There it is. Oh. Dude, screw her, dude. Dude, she is so dirty, boss. It is so crazy because it is like literally like Nazis calling like their opponents Nazis. It is like Adolf Hitler's the Spider-Man meme of guys in SS outfits. Jesus. Dude, I can't bear to fucking listen to any of this shit. All right. So moving on, though. Thank you, Nick Fuentes. To sum it all up, guys, with the Nick Fuentes shit, here's what's going on. Is now there is a multi-level anti-Semitism thing going on in MAGA, where MAGA is separating into this America First, and they are fighting with each other because they're not anti-Semitic enough. Okay? And this is the shit though that I've been talking about how the anti-Semites are using the rise of anti-Zionism as a cloak to sort of get in there and like, you know, try to sneak their way in. I mean, the same way that, you know, these influencers like Andrew Tate will use the sex industry as a way of like roping guys into their misogyny and simultaneously like bashing the girls that they revere. It's like they use these things as like back doors to sneak their philosophy in, or they use, name calling in gaming as a way of like, Trojan horsing anti-LGBTQ sentiment and anti-woman sentiment, and then roping them into their extremism, right? It's yeah, dude, when is CPAC? It is going to be interesting to see the next, or AmFest, the next major event where some of these clashing parts of the, the right wing come together. Like maybe we're going to get some good viral content. It'd be interesting to know how many American Jews are against Zionism. It really would, JG. It really would. I think it's hard though, right? Because nobody wants to they don't want to speak up about it. I think a lot of them don't want to be in the crossfire of this, okay? Because there is a deep lineage, obviously, the concept of the homeland in the religious land of Israel and the Holocaust survival and all that is very deeply entrenched in their culture. And so I think there's a lot of people that are conflicted, okay, because they obviously they don't want to they don't want to be sacrilegious to the shit that their people have been through. And at the same time, though, they don't want to be the center of this international conflict, because a lot of them don't want to have anything to do with the government of Israel. They simply just want to have their religion and be left alone. And that's what's really unfortunate about it, that they're being thrust into, because a huge part of the Zionism in America is from the Christians. Okay. It's like these deeply mental evangelicals, right? These Ted Cruz's and the people that are funding them, the Walton family, and then you have some people like fucking Ellison and shit, who is he's Jewish, but he's I don't know. He feels more I don't know. He feels like old money, religious billionaire. So yeah. So it's I'm really intrigued. I know I'm thinking about planning a get together from some of my old fraternity brothers. And I'm really intrigued if we end up doing that. I really am intrigued how a lot of them feel. I'd be real curious to see what their take is about it. I can only imagine that it's got to be super conflicting. Okay. Because guys, it's because of the fact that at least my experience of the Jewish people I knew, Israel was not about an ethno-state for them, okay? Israel was a sign of survival of the Holocaust. So it was more a sacred testimonial of the survival of their faith. And the imperial machine that became the IDF and the government of Israel, it really feels like an American creation, along with some really power-mongering, government types, okay? But also, though, it's these are Americans that, they travel to Israel to fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're kibitzing, but they're not it's not this deep, Israel tie, okay? And so they're, I think it's very confusing. I think they're very conflicted. I think for a lot of them, it is like having an abusive parent, okay, where you have this history and this love and this connection, and yet it's abuse, and you don't quite know how to process it because you don't want to turn your back on your blood and the survival of this crazy event and the survival of your faith. And you're like, fuck, dude, there's like horrors going on, you know? And so like, dude, that's fucking, I feel really bad. I imagine, guys, it's a little bit like, you know, I imagine that it's a little bit like, you know, it can't be that far off of what we go through with Trump. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do we process being Americans and, you know, having our country be so toxic and imperialist and abusive, and they're murdering and they're firing missiles into grade schools and committing war crimes. And we're not overthrowing them. We're not overthrowing Trump. We're not like staging a military coup here. You know what I'm saying? Like we have millions of people who support what he's doing, and we have a whole bunch of people that don't support what he's doing. And we all have our own independent like measures of America. And then a whole bunch of people in America probably don't even pay any attention. They probably don't even watch the news, and they don't even give a shit, right? They're just like, they're not like tied into the shit Trump's doing at all. So like, you know, I mean, it's just really, you know, I just know that like from the guys I knew, they had a very special attachment to Israel, but none of it was about land or ethnicity. It was tied to like the sacredness of it being this place that was a symbol of surviving this horrific trauma. And right. And, you know, but you know what I'm saying? It was not about like land conquering or wiping out people, but I don't know like what the people are like over there. I would imagine it's similar to here, you know? It is, I would imagine it's like super similar to here in America, where we have an imperialist, abusive, rapey, war criminal president, and a huge portion of the country's like, go war criminal. And the other part of the country's like, fuck that war criminal. But like, you know, hopefully we don't have the same global animosity that's aimed at us, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, I have not traveled since Trump internationally, so I haven't even gone to Canada or anything. I don't know what the sentiment is about Americans who are traveling internationally now. How you know, do you right? Like, you know, if people, when they travel now, do you think other countries are wondering if there's Trump supporters, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, probably on the lookout. Like, dude, if I go to Europe, I'm gonna be wearing a like fuck Trump shirt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just don't like that Batya. But all right, next up, moving on. Dude, yeah, no, if I go to Europe, I'm wearing a fuck Trump shirt, 100%. All right, we got to watch this AOC clip. Dude, she absolutely decimates Ted Cruz here. Body bag time for Ted Cruz. And you know, I still, guys, it's weird. It is weird, dude. MAGA hats are banned from a lot of pubs. Good, dude. See, dude, I'm telling you right now, I would fucking love, okay? I would love to go to Australia. I feel like I would be way down in Australia, okay? I'm serious. Dude, I think me in Australia would fucking be like this, dude. Right? All right, so let's watch AOC here. Dude, she's been body slamming people lately, and this is a good one.
Congressman, real quick, I'm sorry to ask you about this, but Ted Cruz called you a parasite and disparaged your work as a bartender.
Yeah.
Any response to this junior senator from Texas?
I mean, listen, there's no, it's not a secret, the disdain that Ted Cruz has for people who work working class jobs. It's not a secret that, you know, what he thinks of the waitresses, the line cooks. He thinks that we're less than him. He thinks that because he has a Harvard degree and never scrubbed a table, that makes him better than someone who's actually had to work for a living. And I think it's funny that he's been taking a government paycheck for 23 years, but has the audacity to criticize someone who has come from a family that had to work their way up and earn their place here. And you know, if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. I don't take it personally. I'm okay with it.
Congresswoman, can I ask your reaction?
Dude, Ted Cruz called AOC a parasite, guys. Ted Cruz, okay, this man, he is so gnarly, okay? If you look at Ted Cruz, like this guy, his own daughters, okay, Ted Cruz's own daughter fucking hates him, bro. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Let me find the one where he tries to kiss his daughter. Oh, here it is. You ready? Watch this clip.
Do you think you can win here, Ted?
Are you taking off? Come on.
Yeah, they're going with me.
Hey, let's hop out, boys. We're taking
Good job.
Dude, she won't even let him kiss her, dude. Bro. Guys, that speaks volumes, okay? That he does. He spikes the camera, dude, right here. Dude, look at him. Watch this. Right there. Look at that. Volumes. Do you remember the discussion we had earlier about SA? And I said how it's like the people that are like pillars of the community or whatever, right? I would 100% not be surprised if there was like SA in this family. This guy is like, but this guy is like a creep, dude. Dude, Ted Cruz is a creep. At the very least, she knows he is like an abuser. He is an abuser. Look at that, though. Isn't that wicked? That is like wicked, that shot. She doesn't want to even be near him. She doesn't want to be near him. She is like repulsed by his presence. And he is so offensive. Okay? He is, dude. He is like offensive. Right? Here we go. Look at that, bro. Dude, the verdict with Ted Cruz. Jesus Christ, bro. Holy shit, dude. That is, oh my God, dude. Doesn't it just give you the ick? Bro. It just gives you the ick. You never saw that clip? This clip? Yeah, this clip is unnerving, dude. She hates him.
Do you think you can win here, Ted?
Are you taking off? Come on.
Yeah, they're going with me.
Hey, let's hop out, boys. We're taking
Good job. Good job.
Do you think you can win here, Ted?
Yeah, dude. So gross, dude. Dude, look at that. Oh, dude. Creeper. Yeah, she's like, you're hurting me. You're like, yo, dude, gross. He is gnarly. Now he's been on a tear, guys, going after AOC, right? And you know why he's jealous of AOC? Because she is a more legitimate presidential contender. Remember, Ted Cruz ran for president, and there's no chance that guy would ever, like, even be considered a fucking presidential contender. But AOC is a legitimate contender. even if she's like, maybe it's too early to run now, but he's been calling her a parasite. Dude, he is so gross, okay? And I mean, dude, look at this shit, dude.
Did she forget that part? Or maybe a product of,
man.
you know, yeah.
If you look at the Declaration of Independence, which was signed July 4th, 1776 by 56 men, they pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honors. And most of them lost their lives, most of them lost their fortune, but not a one of them lost their honor. In fact, they brought into fruition, I think, the greatest country.
This guy voted for Epstein's best friend. He said none of them lost their honor. Donald Trump, like, made up rumors about this guy's wife and his parents. And he said, he said nasty shit about his wife. Oh, he's like, oh, those framers of the Declaration, none of them lost their honor. But dude, Ted Cruz would grab a fucking, like, a wood-handled spoon and eat the diaper shit out of Trump's diaper, and he would do it on camera. This man has like zero honor, like no honor, dude. He runs away when the power grid is down. This guy is just bottom of the barrel. I'm sorry. I know I painted a visual that you I know, dude. Yo, Ted Cruz. Hey, buddy. Dude, I got a wood-handled spoon with your name on it. What are you doing right now? Dude, you got to come on the show, dude. We got a Trump diaper here. Dude, he's been eating corn on the cob for 2 days, and we're ready for you, Teddy. All right, we're ready for you, buddy. We need you to show your honor and your dedication to the man, the myth, the Epstein rapist, your one and only Donald Trump. All right, you ready? You ready, buddy? All right, bring a bib. It's gonna get messy. All right, fuck you. Your daughter hates you. Bye-bye. Dude, he's been eating, corn on the cob, dude. All right, here we go.
None of them lost their honor. In fact, they brought in their fortune, but not a one of them lost their honor. In fact, they brought into fruition, I think, the greatest country in the history of the world. The problem with the left, number one, it is profound ignorance. They don't know those basic facts. But number two, they're in the business of lying to young people. If you care about social justice, look, leftists like to call themselves social justice warriors. You know what, Sean? I actually think you and I are social justice warriors. We want to see people do better. We want to see poverty overcome. The greatest enemy poverty has ever seen is the American free enterprise system. Nothing has lifted more people out of poverty. If you want to come from nothing and achieve the American dream, it is capitalism that the leftists are trying to destroy that produced that.
Dude, there was a time where, like, the free market was like, yeah, it did offer some shit, but, like, dude, there's no free market anymore, man. If you create a social... What's the last social media network, guys, that showed up? Right? The last viable one was TikTok. And why did TikTok show up? Because it was created in fucking China, bro. Because if they tried to make TikTok in America, that shit would get bought by Google or Facebook like day one. Right? Before that shit even hit the ground, it would be purchased by one of the big two, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got TikTok because it was gestated in a foreign country. You can't even build technology in America anymore, really, without it getting bought out. And in fact, that's like the American dream now, is to come up with some new tech and then get fucking one of the big three, right? Apple, Google, or Meta to buy your shit. And that's it. You know? Dude, Truth Social, yes. Dude, Truth Social is right up there with fucking 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, bro. Oh, shit, dude. Right? It is like, man, it is crazy. dude, there's just no, nowadays the American dream is that you are born into a VC family, right? That's really it. What are you dreaming of, son? Hey, Dad. Hey, son, what are you dreaming of? Oh, I'm kind of dreaming that I had different parents. Some parents with money. I hate you, Dad. You're piss poor. Dude, that's it. The American dream is I wish I had a rich daddy, right? That's the new American dream is I wish I had different parents. Oh, dude. Yeah, it is rough out there.
And yet, they are...
Yeah, blue sky. But the thing about blue sky, though, Lees, is blue sky is it's like Twitter, which I don't really consider Twitter. It is a derivative of Twitter. So blue sky is like an extension of Twitter, but it's the same thing. It's not really a new platform. Okay, it's like an algorithm-less version of Twitter, right? And it was created by the creator of Twitter. So it was a creation of the system, okay? You know what I mean? And it's a response creation, and blue sky's not viable. It's not really a money-making venture. It is more like, you know what blue sky is, guys? Let me just tell you what blue sky is. It's the removal of the headphone jack, okay? That's what blue sky is. It's it's not really a new social network as it is a new methodology where, the idea of that your handle stays with you everywhere. Like you get one handle that becomes an identifier and it's like a universal handle. So it's like a new tech, but the platform itself, I personally, I don't love blue sky. I don't. I mean, I go there a little bit, but it doesn't really. I guess I like some level of manipulation. I like some level of algorithm that's bringing me new shit to discover, and that's what I don't like about blue skies. It doesn't have a really good discovery. It's more like it reminds me more of like Facebook. Okay, that's what it reminds me of. And that's why I think a lot of boomers are on it, because it has that Facebook quality where you can gather your friends and then you can just hang out with your friends on blue sky. But for me, it lacks the discovery aspect. But yeah, I don't really consider that one, though, a new social network because it is just an extension of Twitter by Jack, And in fact, guys, I've said this before, but blue sky's not even new. Okay, Jack's been working on blue sky in the shadows, and that's why he forced the sale. Like Jack contributed to Elon owning Twitter because he knew Elon was going to wreck it and it was going to give him the opportunity to launch blue sky. So Jack sold us out. Hey, you're allowed to love blue sky. I mean, for me, I think blue sky, especially if you're from a community that's under attack on Twitter, like blue sky is amazing. But I just don't love it, but because the discovery aspect, because there's discovery platforms and there's like hangout platforms. And I mean, that's like Twitch. Okay, Twitch is an example. I blew up on Twitch when I was a gamer. But if you go to Twitch, Twitch is not a discovery platform. Twitch is a community platform, which means you develop a community of Twitch streamers you like, and you go to Twitch to watch those streamers. And you'll discover new people on Twitter or on Instagram or on YouTube, and then you'll go to Twitch to watch them stream. So TikTok and Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube are discovery platforms, and Twitch and Blue Sky are for me, are more community platforms. Facebook is kind of a community platform as well, where it's more about you go there to interact with your community of friends, right? And some, not all discovery platforms are created equal. Like, you know, I think Instagram and TikTok are probably the best discovery platforms. You know, Twitter's pretty good too, except it's so toxic. Dude, it's so toxic. Like, do you guys feel like with Twitter, like I feel like Elon spoon feeds me like just hate. Dude, he does. It's like he's trying to break my psyche, you know? But discovery for me is really important though, because I don't use social media to necessarily communicate with my friends. You know what I'm saying? I mostly use social media to discover things outside my sphere, whether it's different political opinions, whether it's different gender identities or sexualities or new music or like writers or art, right? I use social media mostly as like exploratory. Like that discovery part is really important for me, right? That's, you know, especially like finding new music and art. Like, yeah, I really, photographers, shit like that. Instagram, it is owned by Meta. It is owned by Meta, but they've definitely kept the Instagram algorithm different than the Facebook one. Instagram is just like, I mean, they fucked with it, but it's gotten better, right? Instagram's definitely gotten better for me in the last, I don't know. Once TikTok started getting sold, Instagram kind of changed their game up a little bit. Yeah, dude, the hate is gnarly. But again, you know, whatever floats your boat, right? Everybody's got to find their shit. But this guy is what a fucking clown.
Are trying to lie and deceive young people. And it's getting real traction, which means we got to push back.
Well, I hate to say it as we end this interview, but you just made the perfect case for me that you'd be a great Supreme Court justice. But I'm not going to belabor the point.
Dude.
Because, you know, I've seen
Dude, can you imagine this sniveling coward on the fucking Supreme Court? Like, you know what I'm saying? This guy would be so, like, dude, so hyper partisan, degenerate, agenda'd. Like, and you know what's funny though, guys? When I look at these guys, you know what I can't help but thinking, looking at these two clowns with their fucking Lego hairpiece, right? Look at him with his Lego hair and his face. He's trying to look young, but he looks like he's 150. Like, dude, these guys, no young people are ever gonna get messaged to from these clowns. Right? I mean, look at these guys. Dude, young people look at these dudes and are like, bro, put that shit away, dude. Dude. Like, yo, homie. Yo, pederast. Like, fucking A, dude. Like, please cover up these fucking ugly motherfuckers. Dude, I look at them and I'm thinking, like, I need some DMT or some shit. Dude, I've been sober almost 19 years. And I'm ready to get high on some DMT, dude, before looking at these two sniveling freaks.
You're mad before at liberals. I don't really want to, you know, take on that wrath of Ted Cruz. We appreciate your time, Senator.
I'm all about warmth, love, and liberty.
Dude.
I'm all about the same, believe it or not.
Dude, warmth, love, and liberty, dude. Jesus. No, you guys are about fucking, like, peepholes and being gross and fucking jerking off to fucking Cosmopolitan magazine in your grandmother's house. That's what you two assholes are about, right? Like rubbing up, you're about like rubbing up next to like young girls' asses in the elevator. That's what these guys are doing. They're like, oh, excuse me, miss. Dude, warmth, yeah. Dude, warmth of like Ted Cruz's fucking shitty beard pressed against the small of your back, right? While you're in an elevator, like, yo, can you get your face off my back, please, you fucking creepy weirdo? warmth. Jesus. Oh my God. All right, here it is. Here it is. So here's where he slams AOC about the bartender. All right, this is it.
Freedom. And by the way, AOC also said, it is impossible.
Dude, somebody's getting a text, bro. You hear that? Somebody's getting a fucking, you hear this?
Freedom. And by the way, AOC also said, it is impossible for anyone to earn $1 billion. Which, look, I recognize for her, given that she was a bartender, that's probably true. And there's no disrespect to bartenders. Bartenders are an honorable profession. But she went from that to being a government employee and a parasite sucking on the taxpayer. But you look at think of Henry Ford, who...
Dude, she's a parasite sucking on the taxpayer, right? But like, dude, you're a government employee too there, buddy. By the way, let's check with the AI here. Hold on, we're going to go into AI mode and say, if you earn $10K a day, how long before you've made $1 billion? So if you earn $10,000 a day, it will take you 273 years to earn $1 billion. Now, first off, nobody is earning $10,000 a day, okay? But like, bro, if you made $10,000 a day, it would take you 273 years. That's crazy, guys. I mean, that's like, $1,000 an hour. And yeah, that's before taxes. So it's like 330 years after taxes. Thank you. Right? But this is true, guys. It is impossible for you to earn $1 billion. You cannot earn it. The only way you collect $1 billion is through the accrual of large amounts of property or other investments. You are talking about capital investments. You are talking about accruing property. You are definitely landlording. You are definitely in venture capital. You are engaged in some type of like money collection that is beyond the you're earning it. And it is being like you're just extracting wealth. Okay? Like, for example, guys, if you buy an apartment building, okay, that is 1,000 units, okay, if you buy 1,000 units of apartment building that are, you are now extracting 100,000, you're extracting 1/3 of the income from 100,000 people every month. But you're not earning that money, okay? You are not earning that money. You are extracting that money. You have bought a wealth extraction vehicle and you are now extracting money from people and you're providing them a place to live, but you're extracting, okay? And so that's not earning. Earning is where you go and you do a job and you are making money for the service you're providing, okay? And owning an apartment building is not providing a service, okay? You're not, okay? You're not. You are extracting wealth from people. Like the rental properties are not an actual service. And when you own an apartment building, you're not even taking care of it. You have hired a management company that is taking care of it, filling it, managing it, running it, keeping it clean. You're not when you are pulling $1 billion worth of money out of rental properties or some type of business, you're not even doing day-to-day work. You are hiring other people to do all the work, and you are merely extraction, okay? You can't earn $1 billion. You can earn money and then put it into wealth extraction, passive income generating things, and then you can accrue $1 billion using wealth extraction, of property or capital, right? Putting capital into something and taking the fucking profits out, right? Or government contracts or what have you, right? But you can't earn it. Okay? There is no job out there where you're going to go and you're going to make $10,000 a day and you're going to do that job for 273 years to get your fucking $1 billion. You know? Dude, it is insane. Okay? It is insane amounts of money, dude. Absolutely insane amounts of money. Like unfathomable. You know? I mean, it is just the difference between like 10 million, okay? Like even, you ready? Like, look at this. If you earn 10 million, ready? 10 million a year, how long before you have $1 billion? Look at this. 10 million a year. 100 years, guys. Isn't that crazy? If you make 10 million a year, it takes you 100 years to get 1 billion. $10 million a year, which is unfathomable. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, that means even stars that are making $20 million a movie. You look at, like, right? The stars making $20 million. The DiCaprios, the Hanks. That's an insane amount of money. Okay? Or $20 million a year for an athlete contract. You're making $20 million. It's going to take you 50 years of doing a movie a year to have $1 billion. Or if you're making $50 million a year, okay, it's going to take you 20 years of sports, right, to have $1 billion. And that's if you didn't spend anything, right? You know, but like, dude, it's insane. $1 billion is just insane.
Invented the Model T, who invented the assembly any freedom. And by the way, AOC also said it is impossible for anyone to earn $1 billion.
To earn, yes.
Which, look, I recognize for her, given that she was a bartender, that's probably true. And there's no disrespect to bartenders. Bartenders are an honorable profession. But she went from that to being a government employee and a parasite sucking on the taxpayer. But you look at think of Henry Ford, who invented the Model T, who invented the assembly line, and basically created the American middle class. You don't think that produced billions of dollars? Look at Elon Musk making electric cars, making self-driving cars, sending rocket ships.
Dude, by the way, Elon Musk, Tesla only became profitable because of Gavin Newsom and the EV credits in California. And then as soon as it became profitable, he moved the company to Texas to pay no taxes. He's so dirty. And SpaceX is government contracts, okay? Just so dirty. Yes, Obama and Newsom and everybody on the left that were like eco forward. And in particular, though, with Tesla, is they allowed him to like corner the market, guys. They did. And then he fucked everybody as soon as he was made, right? You know what I'm saying? Dude, that's so dirty. Okay, so dirty.
To the moon, he's going to be sending rocket ships to Mars, and yet
no, he's not.
These left-wing zealots say if you are successful, if you are producing, if you are creative, you are bad. We want to take everything from you, and we want to put a bunch of Washington politicians in charge of your life. I got to say, Sean, if you're a 25-year-old guy starting your career or a 25-year-old woman starting your career, that is a horrible, dystopic future. And if they take over the Congress, God help this country.
Oh, God, dude, what a disaster. I do want to talk about something, though, because somebody mentioned like LeBron James, or somebody mentioned like, Taylor Swift. Okay, she's an example, right? We have these like billionaires. But guys, I want to show you something else, okay? Because the other thing about being a billionaire is the only route to it is through an exploitation industry, okay? Which means you're either extracting through real estate or LeBron James, okay? And this is not on LeBron. I'm not going to blame him for it. I'm talking about the industry. He made $1 billion playing basketball, but those stadiums are paid for by taxpayers, even though the owners are billionaires. Those stadiums are staffed by people making very low wage jobs, many of them collecting public benefits to survive. Okay, the entire sports ecosystem that pays athletes to become billionaires, or the music that pay entertainers to become billionaires, is funded by taxpayers buying stadiums for billionaires, and then people paying for the upkeep of that shit, right? And modifying the stadiums, and then all these low wage jobs that are staffing it, okay? And the city is providing them tax breaks and tax credits. And like, so they are, again, they're on the dole, okay? They're in industries that exploit the working men of those cities. And every industry is like that. If you are a, Amazon billionaire, you are milking tens of thousands of warehouse workers that can't even take a piss break, and they get fired if they lose production, and they're breaking their backs for, $15 an hour, $18 an hour, horribly underpaid. And then you're replacing them with robots where you can, or some people are like for-profit prisons where you're profiting off, interning people and that free labor. It's like everything that creates $1 billion is system, okay, that is getting government taxpayer funding, or somehow exploiting the actual workers in order to create that $1 billion. And that's what AOC is talking about. There is no way that you can get a job, even as a $20 million a movie actor. You would have to do one movie every year at 20 million, and it would still take you 50 fucking years to have $1 billion if you spent not a penny. So you have to have insane amounts of money, and then you put those into wealth extraction, fucking mechanisms that extract insane amounts of money out of people through monthly memberships, through government contracts, through massive tax breaks, through real estate, through venture capital that is then, buying up real estate or moving markets. It's system and exploitation generates billions. Okay. Working can generate millions. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it is impossible to generate $1 billion without exploitation. There is absolutely exploitation and or wealth extraction from people that don't have a choice, right? It's but you can make millions working. You absolutely can, but you can't make billions, right? AOC, and not wrong. All right, you ready? We're moving on. Thank you, Ted Cruz. Fuck you, Ted Cruz. All right, I got to see what we got. What we got here. All right, Fuentes. Dude, I want to look at the Erika Kirk tapes, dude. Dude, this shit is funny, guys. Oh, shit. Let me see if I bookmarked it. I may not have bookmarked it. Somebody did put it in the, I did not bookmark it. So we are going to, somebody put it in Discord, but this is pretty interesting. Oh shit, boss. You ready for this? Dude, Erika Kirk. Dude, Candy O going after Erika Kirk. Shell made $86 billion in the last 3 months. Yeah, see, there's another one. You can go to war, right? If you own an oil company, go to war and boom, bap. All right, let me see. All right, let's see if we can find this. I want to find this on Candace Owens' page. Dude, so hold on. Give me 1 sec here. All right. Because this looks like it's shitty AI thing, and I don't want to watch that. Right? I don't want to watch a shitty AI thing. We may have to bump. Dude, we're gonna look at this. We're gonna go in here. Ted Cruz is a con. Everything wrong with government, he is. Right? Dude, that's crazy, Bradshaw. 500 million? Insane. Dude, and LeBron, again, I'm not going to decry LeBron for using his athletic talent to accrue $500 million. My point was simply that any industry or any sport or any business or any entertainment thing that makes it so somebody can generate $500 million for themselves is an industry that exploits in order to do that, right? I mean, the film industry is just a classic example, okay? Film industry, right? There's exploitation there in the money they get from cities and the infrastructure, like tax credits they get. Often the city is providing infrastructure for the studios. Now, the crews themselves on union jobs are making pretty good money, but they get worked, guys. They work like 20-hour shifts. I mean, it is insane what they do, okay? And then the other thing with the entertainment industry is the special effects companies are horribly exploitive, right? Like every time there's a movie that does special effects, almost always the special effects company will go bankrupt. They literally go bankrupt like every fucking movie, dude. It's nuts. And then when you look though at like sports, you get those endorsements, right? But if you have a Nike endorsement, you're making money off like Vietnamese fucking sweatshops, right? I mean, you know, they're maybe not sweatshops in the way they were, 20 years ago. But believe me, when you're offshoring your clothing creation to Vietnam or Honduras, like that is exploitation as well, And so, dude, yeah, the producers, like, the producers, the movie, dude, producing is the racket. Holy shit, bro. Like movie producers, that's the racket, guys. That's where you basically you're the guy with connections and you make phone calls and you get people to give you shit and you make bank and get your name up there on the fucking credits, dude. Dude, yes, no, earning is actually like, to me, earning is like you're investing your labor in the generation of that money. That is like earning. Or you yourself are providing some service, you're providing some measure of where what you're doing is, you know what I'm saying? Like going and having lunch with a senator and then getting a fucking $300 million for your stadium is not earning $300 million. You did not earn $300 million, okay? You just worked a political system available to billionaires, and you fucking, you now have $300 million of the taxpayer money, and then you're going to overcharge those same taxpayers who just bought your stadium. You're going to overcharge them for jerseys and for hot dogs and for fucking nachos and for beers and sodas and every other motherfucking thing in there. You're going to charge them $20 to park their fucking car, okay? You're going to overcharge them for tickets. If they're a season ticket holder, they're going to have to buy the seats and to contribute to the stadium, the seat licenses. Like, holy shit. You're going to take their tax money and then fuck them in every possible way. Yo, yeah, billionaires. What's up? Political punk here. All right, you guys, you fucking suck, okay? Just for the record, all right? You exploit, you don't do shit, you don't bring value, and somehow you've created this narrative. Oh, we're providing jobs. Oh, no, you know what you're providing? You're like sticking a lamprey. You're sticking a money extraction vacuum cleaner on my fucking neck, bro. All right? So we don't like you. We're going to fucking take your shit back. All right? All right. Fuck you. Bye-bye. Yeah, there you go. That's it. Dude, Kermit. He knows, dude. Dude, Kermit made $1,000 a day for 2,739 years, right? All right. Let's go. Let's watch a little Candace. We're on a hunt here, guys. I'm just intrigued here. What do we got? Erika Kirk. Oh, shit. So this is interesting here, guys. Okay. You ready? There are two things swirling around the Erika Kirk world. Two major rumors. Okay. The number one rumor is that Andrew Kolvet is getting a divorce. Okay. There is a rumor that Andrew Kolvet has been having sex with Erika Kirk and that a divorce is happening. Okay. That apparently the rumor is false, but we don't know. We don't know what's going on in there. The fact that the rumor mill has started, we know something's going on inside. But then here's another thing that's really interesting is that there is a suggestion that there was AI audio used to put Erika Kirk in charge of TPUSA. That Charlie didn't actually record this thing. Guys, Erika Kirk should not be running TPUSA. I mean, I'm kind of glad she is. I am. I'm glad she is because she's going to run it into the ground, right? She is. Okay. But I think I think the rumors around TPUSA, I kind of like them, and I like fanning the flame around those rumors because I feel like it does help sort of like put the kibosh on some of their plans. And for me, I feel like combating TPUSA is important to us because we do need to keep we need more inroads with the youth. Okay. We need more inroads with the youth, guys. Okay. We need to keep having the youth excited about electoral politics. I think apathetic youth is not going to be a tenable solution, especially if we want long-term change. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We want long-term change, and that requires us not letting them turn the youth into Christian zealot fucking weirdos. We don't want all the kids in America to be homeschooled fucking, MAGA huffers or America First Klansmen.
All right, you guys, happy Monday. Update for you. Erika Kirk did not, in fact, go home. I just have to say, no one bounces back faster from shootings than Erika Kirk. She really is remarkable in that way. This time, after saying she wanted to go home, us enduring a lecture about how she needed to go home to her family, she bounced over to Michigan to address the graduating class of Hillsdale College.
We saw that speech. So that's after I just want to go home. At the White House Correspondent Dinner, she had another public appearance. Oh! Stop. Stop. We are Charlie. Okay.
Commencement speech. It's all over the place, the messaging, right? She's too scared to get on a plane by herself. Secret Service can't protect her. Oh, now she doesn't have Secret Service and she's back on stage at a school. Nonetheless, I don't know what to think, guys. What you should know is she was awarded an honorary doctorate. The internet has a lot to say about that. Also, we got to discuss this Charlie GPT thing that we have been hinting at, because it's looking like there may be more legs to the story, thanks to a source which came forward. You know, that infamous recording of Charlie saying, "I appoint Erika Kirk." We're going to discuss that. And lastly, Nick Shirley. Do you remember him? We mentioned him one time on this show. Well, he went on to Patrick Bet-David's show and said that I came for him. It's feeling a little over the top dramatic, but I'd like to actually address what his general presence in the media space signifies more broadly speaking, because it is important.
Ooh, Candace and Nick Shirley drama. Guys, can I just tell you, I can't fucking stand Candace Owens, okay? I can't stand her, guys. I'm serious. I used to find her like tolerable, but we have been watching enough of her, and I have been watching her online just constantly like poking the bear. Dude, she is so fucking despicable. Like I look at her and Laura Loomer, and they are equally trash. Okay? Now, I still believe in using her in order to elevate that MAGA animosity so they will continue fighting each other. But I do have to be very clear that, like, she is as offensive to me as Laura Loomer. Like, she is. She is a liar, a conspiracy hack, just absolutely despicable. And the very sound of her voice, like, is, like, just so cringeworthy. You know? So cringeworthy, dude. She is like so cringe. Just so cringe. And I find her absolute, like, she has like negative integrity. That absolutely, she will say anything. Like, there is no lie. There is no like fake drama that she will not be willing to create, even if it like ruins people's existences or their relationships or their businesses. Like, she just does not give a fuck if it elevates her or if it gets her what she wants. Okay? She will absolutely like destroy anybody and then walk away from it feeling like they deserved it, you know? Like, I think she feels like she has full license to just, you know. And what's more, you ready? What's more, guys, is she didn't, like, Kanye made her. Like, she was like basically nobody until Kanye, like, she attached herself to Kanye, and Kanye like elevated her into this like place of relevance. And then she attached herself to Charlie, who was like rising up with Trump. So she's like a clout hound who then thinks she like owns all that clout, you know? It is like, man, is her husband's like in a billionaire family? Of course he is. That makes a lot of sense, dude.
Welcome back to Candace.
Clout surfing. She's a fraud, though, dude.
You enjoyed special treatment. I know Andrew Kolvet had a bit of a day. Bizarre trend over on X. So it looks like Project Constitution reported that Andrew Kolvet was getting a divorce, and it was just not true. The basis of the report was not true. But boy, oh boy, did all of Turning Point USA rise up to defend Andrew Kolvet's honor. I mean, Andrew himself hit back hard immediately. He basically turned into Will Smith at the Oscars. He wrote this, LOL, you wish, fat boy. And then he says, keep my wife's name out of your mouth and off your feed, and you'll have more problems than you bargained for.
Yeah, see, this was interesting, guys, because I do have this bookmarked, right? Because, dude, Andrew Kolvet is like, he's a 40-year-old fucking TPUSA geek, all right? And so the rumor was started here, again, by this Project Constitution guy, saying, bombshell, Andrew Kolvet's wife, Caitlyn, reportedly filing for divorce, citing inappropriate relationships at work. So the operative thing here is that Kolvet and Erika were like, right? And so he was saying a TPUS insider is claiming that Caitlyn Kolvet has filed for divorce, okay? And he puts a little thing, oh, it's unconfirmed, right? Because he doesn't want to get sued, etc. And alleging an affair between Andrew and Erika Kirk, and that Erika bullied her, okay? And so there's Caitlyn Kolvet, and then here's a little, like, whatever AI news story. It just says news. It's lifted, like, if you look at the top here, it's just lifted off one of these AI news sites, like Hindustan Times -50 or whatever, right? But so Kolvet got in here, though, okay? This Project Constitution guy, Kolvet, got in here and like said, hey, you wish, fat boy, right? This is the tweet. Keep my wife's name out of your mouth and off your feet, or you'll have more problems than you bargained for, right? And like, ooh, dude, like, oh, there's going to be a fist fight. See, what's funny about this is the Project Constitution guy is like pretty, like, he's kind of a skeezer, okay? Like, if you look in here, this is the Project Constitution guy. Dude. Dude, there he is. We've seen Project Constitution before. There he is. Dude, look at that hair. Bro, what kind of, like, that hair is like, it is like a dead animal on the man's head, right? Isn't that wild? But dude, Kolvet is like also just kind of equally smarmy, okay? Andrew Kolvet himself, dude, this guy, look at this guy. He's like mid-40s, but he is so, like, he attempts to portray himself as like a 20-year-old. Like, remember when he was arguing with Adam Mockler? And this guy is surrounded by, 20-year-olds, but he's literally like 45. Dude, so crazy. Yeah, no, Project Constitution is absolutely, this guy is totally a Reddit mod, right? It is, dude. But so this is the drama that, again, is like stirring. Now, what I find interesting is how TPUSA always responds to this shit, right? Like, that's what I find interesting, guys, is that every troll on the planet is able to get TPUSA to respond. Like, everybody. And this is really what I personally think is going to be their unraveling, because they have essentially telegraphed to the world that if you are a creator of a certain size that generates negative impressions toward them, they're going to respond. Like they, and I believe they're responding because they are on very unstable ground, guys. That's just it. There is so much instability that they are. It's pretty obvious that they're worried. They're really worried about their image, and their image is like, it couldn't be worse, dude. Every time Erika Kirk opens her mouth, dude, the TPUSA stock is like, dude, you know, it's like a Donald Trump press conference. It's so bad, dude. All right. But anyway, that's the background on this tweet.
To everyone else, happy Mother's Day. And yeah, we can pull that clip in because it was definitely giving that energy of Will Smith if you want to play that clip.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Yeah, that was the energy of that.
Yeah, except, dude, Andrew Kolvet, like, is not scary. With Andrew Kolvet, it's more like, keep my wife's name out of your mouth, or I'm going to be very mean to you on Twitter. I'm going to have Erika come over there and bore the shit out of you. She's going to bore you to death. Maybe flash her boobies. Right? That's more Andrew Kolvet, okay?
And then it wasn't left there. Tyler Boyer then jumped into the foray to further defend Andrew's honor over a divorce rumor. I'm like, this is just like, I wake up and there are rumors about me getting a divorce. But Tyler Boyer said, we have had numerous things like this said about us. It is reckless disregard for truth from people who call themselves investigators.
Again, guys, the fact that they keep responding to this shit is what almost makes it seem like there's some nugget of truth in there, right? You know what I mean? Like, dude, that Project Constitution guy is like Matt Wallace. You guys know Matt Wallace? He's crazy conspiracy weirdo. He was the guy out in Hawaii. Lasers are burning the fires and all this shit. Dude, he's whacked out. Dude, Project Constitution is like a Temu Matt Wallace, which is saying a lot because Matt Wallace is like a Temu fucking, Laura Loomer. You know what I mean? So we're like several levels, just absolutely the bottom of the barrel of like phony, Ian Miles Chung kind of losers. And these guys have all of their top brass running in to respond. Like, these guys are the top people at the company responding to a rumor from, internet fucking jerkets, right? That's why I'm saying you think, some shit might be true about this. Like, you thought Laura Loomer was the Temu Laura Loomer?
Okay, never one to be left behind. Blakey Neff jumped in. He wrote back to Project Constitution, you are not very smart, are you? And then when somebody asked a question about why Andrew's wife was not at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, Blake Neff insisted, he wrote back, again, this is just all... Blake Neff wrote, instead of posting deranged rumor mongering at 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, have you considered that you could look this up or use your brain? White House Correspondents' Dinners are all held by press outlets. Everyone else is there by invitation. How'd you even know he was offered a +1? Andrew lives in Phoenix and has 3 children. How do you know his wife would want to fly 5 hours across the country to attend one dinner?
Dude, look at this, though. This is like one of their main top guys responding to some random woman about fucking the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he's writing a dissertation. Dude, and I read this, and I'm like, dude, I really think maybe Andrew Kolvet did fuck Erika Kirk, bro. I'm really, like, I didn't believe it at first, but now I'm watching these guys respond, and I think if he's not fucking Erika, maybe he's banging the cleaning lady or something. But something is definitely going on because they are like spending a lot of time feeling like they need to answer these random Twitter questions. Bro, it's like, somebody like writes under your shit, oh, they're a sex offender. What? I mean, you don't get into arguments with them, You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to get in there with the Project Constitution guy, you could say, well, I mean, I did bang your mom, so maybe my wife is going to leave me. Like, that to me would be an appropriate response if you were going to respond, is something that is like taking the piss out of these guys. But fuck, dude. These guys are like, they're trying so hard, bro.
Okay. so strong. I by the way, have never heard that Andrew Kolvet is divorcing his wife. Like I said, bit of an aggressive response for a divorce rumor, which I literally think this happens like once a week when you're in the public space. Me, regarding that, I'm just forever amazed at what Turning Point USA and their execs choose to respond to. And the more important things that they remain mum on, okay? Like I said, apparently it was Project Constitution who sourced this rumor, and they were happy to respond to it, which means that they do not view him as a psychopathic, knife-wielding subway killer. So they responded, right?
Yeah.
Because it has been, according to our count, and I'm keeping the count here on our desk, 39 long days since we reported that donors who were present in Aspen assert that the audio, which was shared by Turning Point USA, of Charlie saying, I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA. If something happens to me, she'll do a great job, was faked. This is what they are saying. I'm reporting that. They are saying that that was faked. It never happened. Charlie never said that. And Turning Point, for some reason, is refusing to drop the video of that moment saying this, of Charlie saying this. They're also refusing to even respond authoritatively. They could simply respond and assert that it absolutely was not faked and that the donors are lying.
All right, so now she's segueing into the Charlie tape, which I wanted to cover the affair. Okay, I did. I wanted to cover the affair. That's why I had this fucking saved. Okay, I'm not going to go into the Charlie Kirk tape thing tonight because it's not in this video. But guys, what Candace said, as much as I cannot stand Candace, what she said there though was very accurate. Okay, the things that Erika Kirk and TPUSA are choosing to respond to in the media while simultaneously like decrying the negative attention they get are indicating that if something is going on in the internal ranks with these people, that, you know, like the affair or whatever, the divorce may not be happening, but like there's no reason for them to reply to this Project Constitution, like whatever, you know, anybody who starts with like, oh, exclamation bombshell, they are hemorrhaging their public opinion. They are absolutely telling on themselves that all is not well. Their public image is shattered. They know their public image is in trouble. They know that like their standing is slipping. Their events are empty. Their big nationwide tour isn't even colleges. It's community churches, for Christ's sake, right? So they are letting us know that they are scrambling inside and that they are having trouble keeping that ship afloat. And so I think it's also doing them a disservice because they are simultaneously projecting to the outside world that they're vulnerable, which means if we keep fanning these flames, we're going to help them burn their own shit to the ground. Because believe me, guys, the way to make TPUSA crumble is by beating them, letting them beat themselves. Okay, because even here, guys, even the fact that all of their top brass replied to Project Constitution, all of the people that think TPUSA is like this Zionist Benjamin Netanyahu thing, and they think that they had something to do with Charlie, all of those people now think Project Constitution is a legitimate source because they responded to all of their shit all day long. And they were even answering questions in the replies. So now Project Constitution has full license to just continue grinding the rumor mill and probably creating more responses from them because they're worried about what Project Constitution is saying. And then that is in turn allowing Project Constitution to feed the people that think TPUSA has been taken over, right? And so they are just they are on a hamster wheel of their own demise. And guys, it is kind of beautiful, really, to watch, because I despise Turning Point USA, guys. I do. I despise that organization. And for a number of reasons. Because of the religious component, because of they are actively involved in like illegal politics, guys. They sent buses of people to J6. They were the fake electors, guys. Tyler Boyer, okay? The one of the fucking repliers here, right? Where there's Blake Neff, okay? So we got Kolvet, we've got Neff replying. Where's Tyler Boyer's fucking response? Tyler Boyer, this guy right here, okay, which is all right, he is in charge of Turning Point Action, okay? He leads TP Action, right? They blocked me. They're soft. But this guy right here, this guy was a fake elector, okay? This guy he got off, all right? That case got dismissed. All right. And like mostly because of Trump winning the presidency. Right. But this guy was a fake elector. And so was the state senator from Arizona, Jake Hoffman. These guys were going to like fake a fucking, turn over the Arizona election. I mean, these guys they're criminals. Okay, they're not, and I mean, not only is he covered up like essays inside, and now they're trying to get Andy Biggs into the governorship. They're trying to get a criminal Epstein class Trump fucking sniff into the governor's chair in Arizona. Like these guys are dirty politicking in Arizona. All right, they are like retribution politics, but their lawlessness is problematic, man. Is super problematic, dude. These guys are fucking dirty ass shit, boss. Right? And this woman too, fucking Jeanette Garcia, right? This woman has been involved. I made a video about her too, dude. She's had some issues with getting drunk and being inappropriate. I mean, a lot of inappropriate behavior, and they're grooming like young people, and like, dude, yeah, this shit is pretty gnarly, boss. Okay, they're like constantly, look at them, dude. They're constantly like grooming children. Okay, that's what they fucking do, man. They groom children, and they like, they are like hanging out in pedo churches, guys. It's some dirty shit, boss. Okay? Hafeens, yes. Dude, they are gonna be, hanging out at Epstein Island soon, dude. Right? There we go. You ready? There it is. Here we go, dude. Carrie Lake, Arizona, guys. I'm telling you, Arizona is like ground zero for these fucking like evangelical like pederasts, dude. At Carrie Lake, she was running for senator, running for governor, right? They are ground zero. Arizona is. Arizona right now is ground zero for the pedo Epstein class, right? Dude, Carrie Lake, she's definitely not crazy. Bro, look at Don Hafeen's wife, bro. Like, these are lizard people, dude. Like, yo, please don't eat my children, okay? Please don't eat my fucking kids, all right? You fucking weirdos. Yeah, Zorro Ranch, dude. I know, look at him. He's like... Yo, dude, yeah, these people are gonna eat my fucking kids, bro. Get me off the planet. Come on, man. Goddamn, bro. Thank you. Bye-bye. Jesus. All right. Yeah, they are like, this is some shit, boss. We are talking like, you know, and I mean, if you look at their whole family, dude, okay, look at their whole family, guys. All right, let me just take you through this family. Look at like, I mean, I don't want to, you know, whatever, be critical of people's looks, but just look at their eyes, okay? Just look at their fucking eyes, bro. All right, they are, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like horror film shit, bro. Look at those eyes, dude. Look at that smile. Dude, I mean, you saw the movie Smile, right? Like, oh, shit, dude. I'm going to get a fucking crowbar, bro. Right? I think there's eyes in there somewhere, bro. Carrie Lake, dude, she's got like one eye open and fucking good old Don. Holy shit, bro. Oh, Jesus. Dude, I get the fucking heebies, dude. Jesus Christ, bro. That is some shit, boss. But yeah, man. Dude, her daughter, though. Wow. I know, dude. Carrie Lake is the most normal. No, it is. Don Huffing's wife does look a little bit like Nicole Kidman on, you know, copious amounts of DMT. It's like you took some evil DMT and fucking, you know, huffed like a muffler on a car for like an hour, and then you thought, is that Nicole Kidman? I think so. I think I'm burning in hell right now. I'm in the funhouse. Scuffed Kidman. Dude, right? Scuffed it, like, bro. Kidman with, you know, oh, dude, I don't even know, dude. Eyes permanently shut, bro. Eyes slammed shut, bro. That's what that is, dude. Eyes slammed shut. Dude, yes. Kidman and It, right? If the clown from It fucked Nicole Kidman, this is what the result would be, dude, right? Right? Dude, fucking, what's the clown from It? What's his name, dude? Pennywise. Dude, if Pennywise had an affair with Nicole Kidman, bro. Dude, and this guy was like filming it. That's what you get, bro. Holy shit. Where'd you find your wife, Don? Yo, Don Huffines, what's up? Political Punk here. I'm wondering what sewer you fucking found that lizard person of a wife, dude. Huh? Oh, he met her at the It screening. She crawled out of the fucking screen, you say, huh? And she's a shapeshifter, right? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Don. Yeah, no. I'll call you. Don't call me. Bye-bye. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. All right. Yeah. All right. That's where we get off. It is dance party time, guys. Thank you again for another fucking amazing show. I'm going to go make some videos. All right. We're going to grind it out. Appreciate you guys. Let's go. Dude, I don't know what Don was looking at. I kind of looks like maybe he's found Jesus in that photo. All right. But here we go. Here we go. Time to giddy up. You are so funny. You're welcome, Ellen. I got you. The comedy has been epic. Dude, we got the comedy, boss. All right, that we got. I don't have much, but I do have comedy, boss. I do. You ready? Oh. Let's get it. Checkity, check. Yo. Here we go. Time for a little deja vu. Thank you again, guys. All right, we have time for one last dance. Let's get it. This one goes out to Hafiz.
this feeling that I have now, almost a bit holy, a notion that I will make it out somehow.
Let's go. That I'm blinded, yeah. Stars in my eyes. Woo! Dude, I'm out of breath. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys being here. I will be back tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow we're starting 9 p.m. All right? Fucking solid, 9 p.m. every night. Consistency. All right? I can't seem to make up my mind. Since is all that I require, and that I'm blinded, yeah, by the stars in my eyes. It's true, I've been dreaming of you. Nothing I take can help me escape the truth. If you need me, well, I need me too. See you guys tomorrow! All right, take care of your head. Don't get too down. We got a long way to go, baby. And in the meantime, don't forget to stay radiant. I'll see you. Good night. Yeah. Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down. I'd rather be found. It gets better. I wonder my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. I will never
find